the game for the first time. I got caught higher on my mom. She said something like, "Who called the cops?" And I got mad at her and yelled at her.
Agent shared that this wasn't the only time he was caught using marijuana, and that he still smoked every 4 or 5 days. Have you ever hit Kaya before?
I've never had any girl before.
Have you ever been upset with her to the point where you wanted to hit her?
The only time I was upset with her enough to like any way, like, express that to her is when I told her like that, and I called her the name.
What name did you call her?
And I called her a pig or something.
Police would come to find out sooner rather than later that this was just the tip of the iceberg when it came to Aiden's misbehaviors.
And after that, I just started to get along. It's been a while since anything like that had happened, so lately we've been getting along a lot better.
Aiden's willingness to replace the Pokemon cards he damaged seemed to indicate.
Hi everyone, Michelle McMahon here with Dave Fleming. We are excited to bring you this coverage of the PPA. Dave, we have the best of the best on the men's side competing here today.
Yeah, and these players will really be put to the test today. We've got Christian Alshon set to take on the player. It's a perfect day, and there's a lot of opportunity here for a great matchup. Christian Alshon is ready to kick us off here. Let's play pickleball. Big mistake there. I guess they weren't ready for the serve, so they didn't even get a paddle on it.
You get the energy and focus vibe you're looking for. Vibrations, advanced hydration for your best.
So much power on that overhead.
The player takes over the serve. That volley was so crisp.
If you can pay anyone, anywhere instantly, your renter's insurance should be able to pay your claims instantly. It's about time insurance does that.
Wow, the two-handed backhand again.
What a shot. Right down the line.
I exited the store less than 10 minutes later. Aiden said they plan to go to another Walgreens nearby.
Nice attacking cross-court shot. 3-1.
He's gonna walk straight down the street and keep on the way there. But she said she wanted water, so we went home and got the backpack and got.
Now there's a cross-court winner. Nicely done.
He just didn't think about it.
Aiden said that he and Kaya were only at the house for about 5 minutes. Just long enough to load up a backpack with water.
Huge overhead.
This police notice had to be when something went wrong. Using a map for reference, Aiden drew out he said he and Kaya.
What a big finish.
Now trailing by 5.
Yeah, just a little flat right now. Gonna need to find some mojo to get back into the clean winner that time on the passing shot.
7-1.
Aiden said he noticed that the clouds overhead looked like rain.
Made the passing shot look easy.
Oh my goodness. Just such a high level of pickleball right there.
What they should be doing.
And she was saying, like, if they doesn't play within, like...
And that ball sails just wide. Christian Alshon back to serve.
It does make we have a chance to get him before it rains. And then I was thinking it was going to rain a lot, so I was like wanting to sit there and hopefully wait it out.
Were you upset with her when she...
The overhead. Well executed there.
8-1. Side out here for the player.
I just thought we should maybe wait a little bit longer. And I just really thought it was going to start pouring.
It's difficult to hit the ball that hard and keep it in play. Nicely done.
In complete control here with an 8-point cushion.
No doubt this is...
That ball is good.
It was, Michelle, and that two-handed backhand is vicious.
Well, this has been a one-side. Now a side out for Christian Alshon.
We started walking, and like, I figured, like, you know, she's right behind me. I just saw her get up and start walking in front of me. And we get over there, and
That's a ferocious finish.
The player to serve.
I don't know, make her do that, but I never really noticed.
And that's it.
Yeah, I'm sure
Nothing went their way. They got wrecked. What a performance.
10-year-old girl, she gets angry over stupid little things. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm being really loud right now because I can. Okay, I've made such a mess making this. Let me show you. Like, I even got a little.
On to game 2 we go.
Like, I honestly could have done something that made me mad. Not really. Not even.
Smash that one.
That was hit with bad intentions. My goodness.
Christian Alshon takes over the serve. Left a mark on that. The player takes over the serve.
Nice work there and a beautiful finish. Just no panic in that volley. So solid. Making the opponent have to hit a miracle shot on the run.
2-0.
Did you ever think of maybe just knocking on people's doors to tell them, hey, your little sister?
Gorgeous cross-court finish that time. 3-0.
Thinking about that, but I had no idea what time it was. And when I was very confused, I didn't know what I was going to do.
They said he looked for fire for roughly 30 to 40.
What do you even do with that passing shot, Dave?
You have nothing to do except clap your paddle. Great location and a great result.
And now out to a quick 4-point lead.
Pulled up and started yelling for me. I ran over and got in the car and he took me over.
Beautiful passing shot.
So now they trail by 5, Dave. What can they do to get back in this match?
They got to find a spark, find some energy, find their favorite shot, something that gets you fired up.
You're not giving us a whole lot of information. We need to try to find her.
Just too good.
Just ridiculous filth on that one.
To be able to find her so we can help her. So it's been
Perfect passing shot perfection.
Anything is possible these days. But that goes for several criminals too. With AI, they can create
Well, that was certainly hit with the base.
And the sound of that ball was vicious. That's a big-time forehand to put that ball right on the line.
This got out of hand pretty quickly, Dave. What happened?
Sometimes there's nothing you can do when your opponent... A phenomenal passing shot for the winner.
9-0.
She knows her mom's phone number, she knows her dad's phone number, right? Okay. So
Too shallow on the return. When it sits up like that, you give your opponents a great look.
what happened to her?
Is it closing time? One last call right here.
How do you think Carlos goes?
wherever she is, probably scared.
What do you think she will?
And that will do it.
One lopsided victory is in the books.
With that win, they've advanced to the round of 16. That's coming up next.
It was now nearly 8 o'clock in the morning, and Kaya had been missing for at least 9 hours. Frustrated by Aiden's lack of concrete answers, the detectives tried to cover the situation from a slightly different angle.
Did she ever say anything to you about wanting to leave? Did she ever say anything to you about trying to get away from you? Did she ever say anything about trying to get away from your mom?
No, but I think usually she has a good relationship with my mom. She ever think she hasn't really talked to me about personal things.
Your dad? Her dad?
No, she said she likes her dad.
Okay, so no reason why she would just take off.
Yeah.
Another look at Kaya's YouTube channel seemed to depict a happy relationship within the family, especially between Kaya and her biological brother.
Are we going to be able to find her?
I hope so.
Unfortunately, it seemed police were no closer to locating Kaya than they were before talking to Aiden. Acutely aware that Kaya could be hurt or in danger, the police knew that every second could spell the difference between a happy reunion or a tragedy.
Were you guys out car hopping?
No.
Car hopping, as the police call it, is going around the neighborhood looking for unlocked cars and taking anything of value found inside. When the police talked to Aiden's twin brother, he suspected that this was the real reason Aiden and Kaya were out walking.
Why did you have a backpack then?
Who, me, Kaya?
Mm-hmm. Kaya's gone car hopping with you before, right?
I think way in the past.
Yeah, we're talking about the truth today, right?
Yeah, like way in the past.
So were you guys car hopping?
No, we definitely were not. And this brother got sworn and everything.
Aiden, look at me, buddy. You're not telling us the truth.
As it turned out, the police had solid evidence to prove that Aiden wasn't telling them everything. Why and what this meant in regards to Kaya's disappearance remained to be seen.
I don't think you guys are hearing what I'm saying. You guys think I'm going out, that I was going out doing illegal stuff, but I told you guys.
Okay, what I want to,
Like, I told you
Aiden,
guys that.
let's keep our eyes focused on what the most important thing is right now, okay? The most important thing right now is to find Kaya.
Well, we should be doing that. Like, you guys think I know where she's at or something.
We have all kinds of officers. We have jobs.
Today's coverage of the PPA Tour is about to start. I'm Michelle McMahon alongside Dave Fleming. Thrilled to have you with us. I guarantee world-class pickleball talent will be on display today with this singles matchup.
This is must-see pickleball right here. We've got the player. The player is set and ready to go. Let's play pickleball. Here we go.
You have that untitled spot. Okay, so somebody who's on the untitled spots before.
Oh my, what a shot into the corner. That is just too good.
How do you feel
That was a short return, and you see what happened. It's got to be deeper.
Did I ever ask you, or did Detective Martinez ever ask you to do something?
Absolute filth on the cross-court shot.
Shit.
Drop volley, and it's textbook. The serve returns to Colin Johns. All over it. Beautiful attack that time. Side out here for the player. Yeah, that two-handed backhand down the line, amazing.
So good.
We've seen a dominant performance so far, up by 4 and looking for more.
I got it.
Oh, what a shot down the line. Down by 5. What do you do, Dave?
Now is when they have to start thinking about how to steal just a little bit of confidence. This game is all about confidence and momentum. Short returns are where points go to die. It just leaves too many options on where to attack. Just wrote that one down the line. That was pretty.
to start over and have Aiden go over the route he took with Kaya from the beginning. After Aiden came back from the quick bathroom break and was updated on the plan, he told him he was not a fan.
Wow, you just can't defend that. Down by 8. This is not the way you want to start, Dave.
This has become a runaway freight train, Michelle. We're in desperation mode now. There's a beautiful volley into the open court.
9-0.
Filth level 1 million on that ball in the corner. My goodness. It is 10-0. This is pickle point. Will they shut them out right here?
I used to, but now at that point where because it's only 400 myself.
Ah, shit. Let you know, she's a nervous wreck right now. When it's like higher that, and she wants to find it.
Close, but just long.
I thought it might have caught the line, but it's ruled out.
And now a side out for Colin Johns.
I'm not gonna lie to you, like, we're really going up on her because
How about that cross-court winner?
Yes, great deception and great ball placement. Got the job done there.
10-0.
like,
The player to serve.
makes me hurt so bad that it's not something like that, like, it's always
That's game.
Wow, did they get wrecked.
Be sure to stick around. We'll
nerve-wracking for me.
So party wouldn't bother you if we found her or not?
No, it would
This
bother
one's
me,
gonna
but
come back and fucking destroys me.
it's not like, say for somebody that's closer to her, it's gonna be a lot harder.
Well, I want you to know, we've already had officers all throughout that area with dogs. You know how dogs work, right? I mean, they're gonna be able to pick up her scent a lot quicker.
That was the crux of the issue police were having. The dogs weren't consistently picking up Kaya's scent along the route Aiden traced. There were only two explanations. Either every single one of the dogs was having an off
be back with game 2.
Something else that police discovered undercut Aiden's story even further.
That ball was put away with authority. Side out here for the player.
They didn't see you going to the
I went 8. I'm not sure what I have to do for you guys to prove that, but you guys can.
That is a great cross-court attack.
And 5 o'clock this evening, which we know that you haven't left yet, all the way up until 11 o'clock tonight. And they didn't see you and Kaya go into the store.
Please know that the detective is talking about the second floor. That Aiden
Great passing shot that time. What a shot. 2-0.
Aiden wasn't talking. However, security footage from somewhere else in town went over ahead. This was just the first of many holes in Aiden's story.
Oh, the finesse play right there with a drop volley. 2-0. The serve returns to Colin Johns.
You said earlier that you guys had cut through bills, correct? Okay, and then it's rained, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful cross-court finish that time.
Did you change your shoes at all?
CJ showing baby brother Ben how to get it done. Now there's a fantastic passing shot.
The player to serve.
Your behavior has not been normal around other
Wow,
people.
can't defend that. 3-2.
So you just that you're telling us the truth.
If something bad happened or like we found her something bad happened to her, I wouldn't have to do it myself.
absolute filth on the cross-court shot.
Gave a pretty clear suggestion as to their stomach joint theories on what happened. If you wanted a person
Cross-court winner and a beauty. Nothing you can do with that.
All right, let's go on a spree here. Ah, son of a
Nice
fucking
work
bitch.
at the kitchen. Great read.
Damn it.
All
so
over
right
that
there.
one with the volley winner.
All right,
5-2. Colin Johns back to serve.
bang. Take it over there. Take it over there.
Two-handed backhand clinic put on there.
That's just sick. Unbelievably good.
5-2. The player takes over the serve.
Now that's a sharp volley. Too tough to handle that one.
Oh ho! Perfect ball placement that time in the corner. Trailing by 5.
Just a little flat right now. Gotta get some energy. Gonna need to find some mojo to get back into this. CJ with a great finish.
Now a side out for Colin Johns.
more information.
Very well placed shot.
The player takes over the serve.
Please stay focused on the most important aspect of the case.
Almost sure.
You see it on her page, and then
Fuck.
that's in the movie. That doesn't happen in the movie. Okay, so there's an explanation.
And that's a
for that.
beautiful forehand just inside the line.
And I think that you have the keys and the answers to help us find them.
Great shot there.
Yeah, great shot and great depth.
Ah, shit.
You think she's frustrated?
There's some power being displayed.
We've arrived to match point here.
I think that was just the order there. Sorry for that. Lu Hongding. There we go. Ah, some bitch. Yeah.
That does it.
That is a blowout, folks.
With that win, they've advanced to the quarterfinals. That's coming next.
You guys. Go.
She's close behind you, as you had told us. What do you think she would do?
Think we
She started yelling for me or something.
Police would soon learn the haunting reason why Kaya hadn't called out for Aiden.
You think I said that's supposed to be, where would she be?
I don't have an answer for that. I'm not trying to sound rude or anything, but I feel like you guys keep saying you feel like there's something missing. I feel like it's just wasting all of our time.
At this point, the detectives decided to bring in Aiden's mom, Katie, to see if she could get him to be more forthcoming. The change in Aiden's demeanor as soon as she arrived was remarkable.
What's going on here? I want to believe you never give them all the clues.
All the clues.
Stop doing I'm not saying that to you. You know? But you guys do anything you weren't supposed to do? Like, you leave or drink or steal something? Or, you know you were going to steal something, but did you? Did you do anything you weren't supposed to? And she's gonna be scared that she's gonna get in trouble. The only thing bad that we were gonna do that she literally knew about getting the trophy in place. If there's something really been out and you're afraid you're going to get in trouble, don't worry about that. You just need to tell somebody. I'll tell you now. I chew on nuts for them. I showed them everything you could think of. Everything. I told them everything. I've been honest with them about everything.
The police obtained consent from both Aiden and Katie to collect Aiden's clothes for testing, along with fingernail scrapings and buccal swabs.
What do they want my clothes for? Make sure there's no blood or anything.
Absolutely thrilled to have you with us here for another incredible weekend of pickleball. Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle McMahon alongside top senior pro Dave Fleming. We're here to bring you all the insight of this weekend's events. Dave, we're going to have quite a men's singles match in front of us today.
This is incredibly exciting, Michelle. We've got the player set to take on Tyson. The player is set and ready.
Cyber criminals don't take anything from me. Broken.
Ready to go. Let's play pickleball.
And we can get collected after somebody will actually listen to him rather than
I got it.
Actually, the CBI is not even involved in the investigation. We were just asked to participate.
I don't know.
Beautiful counter punch there. Get that out of here.
Go through the day and what happened and that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to judge you about it.
Before beginning the conversation that would lead to the polygraph, Aiden was advised that his authorized and his mother's presence don't see the mind. He wasn't being charged.
Nice drop volley right there.
This interview will certainly be important.
At any point today, you know.
Great finish on the volley.
Do you understand that? Okay. You all understand that? Before we start the polygraph, when you get it time, not the polygraph activity. I don't know.
There's the finish from Tyson McGuffin.
3-0.
Yeah. The problem is there's no time limit on it. I can't put a time limit on it because it kind of depends on how much you thought.
That shot right there, that was insane, Dave.
Absolute filth, Michelle. Unbelievable. The drop volley is such a difficult shot. Great start in this game. Quickly up 4-0.
The polygraph needed to be conducted in private.
Great work at the kitchen. Left no doubt in that volley. The player to serve. A thing of beauty. Right at the line with the forehand. 4-1.
Sorry about that. People that
That one's not coming back.
Absolute not. The pros play great defense, but no chance on that one.
If you're free to go for a little bit, you can have some time to yourself and then.
Corner shot that time and a beauty. 4-3.
The quickest way to get Aiden out of the police station as he wanted was to complete the test. And so,
How good was that, Dave?
So good, Michelle. A clean winner on a beautiful passing shot. We are all tied up.
The examiner asked Aiden multiple questions about his history of health. But it was when the topic of his mental health came.
That was a great shot.
Do you know if you've ever been a patient like in a veterans hospital? About a mental hospital? Right.
Look where that ball landed. Right in the corner and just so good.
You have to do like
A shallow return like that is just asking to get hammered, and we saw it there.
Major emotional disorders, anger. What kind of stuff has happened that makes you angry?
What a drop volley, just beautiful.
7-4. Tyson McGuffin back to serve.
Oh, that's just a wicked cross-court shot.
7-4. Side out here for the player.
Points back on the board now.
Ooh,
Fuck.
and does a little drop volley there. Wasn't that pretty?
7-4.
Bullshit pickleball.
Tyson McGuffin takes over.
That's just a gorgeous volley.
This isn't necessarily true. Records police obtained from social services indicated that in addition to the diagnoses they shared, he had a history of aggression and violent outbursts. The social worker assisted.
Nice backhand there from Tyson McGuffin.
Wow, stepped in and made that volley look easy. 7-6. Tyson McGuffin aggressive on the attack.
We are all tied up.
I gotta find out.
You get angry before I can say stuff, but you know, if I just get angry, I won't want to go and
Fuck it.
get around the car. You know,
Oh, that was so good. The player to serve.
We are tied now.
On the board now. What?
And look at
missed
that
it.
shot.
I missed something.
Love it.
Yeah, silky smooth cross-court winner. We are all tied up.
Tyson McGuffin takes over. Are you kidding me? That was incredible.
Drop volley. Oh my goodness.
8-7.
Those moments are easy to recover. Recall is an AI-powered feature that works like you can see memory. You capture snapshots of your screen activity so you can search and
Ah, you got it.
Great read and a great
Way
finish on the
too
volley.
fucking pull it down.
It was great, like
Shit.
and recall shows
I gotta get the ball back.
from your browser history. No need to remember exact words and file names. Privacy is built in. You choose whether to turn recall on. You can check the status anytime.
That ball, it's good.
It was Michelle, and that two-handed backhand is vicious.
What happened?
Side out here for the player. How about the cross-court winner?
Incredible deception, great ball placement, got the job done right there.
9-8. Big forehand winner.
And that ball was in. What a shot.
Close game here. All tied up.
They've admitted to using alcohol and marijuana within the past couple of days.
Oh, the return's gotta be better than that. It's just sitting there begging to be smoked. And now we have game point.
It's over.
Yes.
What a fight they had to earn that win.
On to
kicked over a bag of trash and I said, or something, and I said, like, something like, that's why I don't disrespect your boyfriend's family or something like that.
That's what you said?
Yeah, something like that. And so she called the cops and he said that I was being rude, loud, disrespectful, and trying to blackmail her.
In preparation for the test, the examiner asked Aiden to tell her the whole story of Kaya's disappearance, starting from the beginning. He wasn't enthused.
Could we do the test without me having to tell the story?
No, unfortunately we can't, because that's the, I need to make sure that I'm asking the right questions on the test. When I ask you the questions, your body will tell me what the truth is, so, okay? So it's easy, just sit here, tell the truth, and it's not a big deal, okay? Like I said, even if it's different than what you said before, or maybe there's little details that, oh, I remember now, That is totally fine. You do not look like a liar. You just need to tell me what the truth is.
Despite his lack of enthusiasm, Aiden spent nearly an hour rehashing the exact same story of Kaya's disappearance. Once he finished, he requested a bathroom break, and the examiner took the opportunity to confer with the other investigators. And it was a good thing
To game 2 we go.
there had just been a massive break in the case, and it changed everything. Meanwhile, Aiden returned to the bathroom and waited in the room alone. But he didn't yet know what the police was found. He had heard
Huge overhead right there.
The player takes over the serve. One of the best exchanges we've seen so far.
Finally.
1-0.
All right, here we go. Let's put points on the board. Points on the board.
That volley was so crisp. Side out chance here for Tyson McGuffin.
the police have been pushing Aiden for the truth for 12 hours now. The detective asked Aiden to go back to the room and wait for the polygraph examiner to return. The longer Aiden waited, the more emergency appeared.
Getting it done that time with a passing shot. The player takes over the serve.
About 15 minutes later, he couldn't take the weight anymore.
You can't do this.
Cross-court winner, nothing you can do with that one.
He left you sleeping wherever you were. Aiden replied and returned to his seat. 2 minutes later, the examiner returned to update Aiden. At this point, though, the police likely suspect that he already knew what he was going to do.
Now there's some power on display.
You
Great
got it. Son
read
of a
and a
bitch.
great finish on the volley.
Tyson McGuffin back to serve.
The examiner escorted Aiden to a different room. Now
That was filthy.
The player to serve. Oh, read that one like a book.
For sure, a great read and just so good on the counters.
3-0. Tyson McGuffin takes over. Cross court and a beauty.
That was so well done. Such a great shot.
3-0. Side out here for the player.
We talk about depth of return a lot, and here's why. First, it gives you time to get to the net. Second, the angles are just much different when you're that far away. You have no real shot to get it past them when you're that far back.
Smash that one.
That was hit with bad intentions. My goodness.
So now you're down 5 points. What do you do?
Now is when they have to be thinking about
That shot right there was insane.
unbelievable. The drop volley is such a difficult shot.
Side out chance here for Tyson McGuffin. Passing shot and a beauty. The player takes over the serve.
As the caller noticed, his body was face down in the street, and her disarrayed clothing made police fear that she'd been sexually assaulted. DNA swabs would be taken to see if any of her killers.
Nope, a little wide.
Tyson McGuffin back to serve.
Even more questions. Back at the police station, the polygraph examiner didn't say the plainly explained what happened. However, his emotional reaction made it very impossible.
Look at that shot. I love it.
Silky smooth cross-court winner.
Side out here for the player. That one's not coming back.
Absolutely not. The pros play great defense, but no chance on that one.
Oh, that ball was hammered.
One more.
Can you guys explain what did you find?
Oh, you
The
son
lob,
of a
what a
bitch.
shot.
There's no shot more satisfying than that.
7-0. Tyson McGuffin takes over.
That's good pickleball right there.
The player to serve. 7-0. Wow, gorgeous looking shot that time.
Nice work from Tyson McGuffin.
Down by 8. This is not the way you want to start.
I mean, it's an absolute runaway freight train, Michelle. They are in desperation mode now.
Side out chance here for Tyson McGuffin. Nice work at the kitchen. Great read.
All over that one with the volley winner.
8-1.
That's just a gorgeous volley.
Side out here for the player.
Now that's a sharp volley. Too tough to handle that one.
Tyson McGuffin takes over.
Great job there, getting the ball into a location where nothing could be done.
8-1. The player to serve. Firefight at the net, and that rally is put away.
Cross-court winner. Nothing you can do with that. We've got a match point right here. That drop volley was sick.
Tyson McGuffin back to serve.
That's just a mental error, Michelle. The two-bounce rule dictates that you can't volley the ball until it's bounced at least once on each side of the court. Ferocious overhead from McGuffin.
10-3.
And that stays in. Fantastic forehand that time.
10-3. The player takes over the serve. And that's it.
I think we can all agree that that was one boat race of a performance. They never had a chance.
With that win, they've advanced to the semifinal.
Unfortunately, none of this evidence elucidate this time.
I wanna be by myself. I want you guys I'm willing to like say everything that I like about, but I didn't hurt. I don't know why I want to hurt her. Why would I do that? I didn't. But I have all the time. But murder. That's crazy. To kill someone. That makes you a terrible person. I like killing someone. That's just so bad. I want my mom.
Need a new landing page? Framer's AI lays the groundwork fast. Describe the page you want to make, and Wireframer generates a clean, neutral layout, ready for you to customize and publish. You can iterate and refine, get suggestions along the way.
Aiden only had to wait a few seconds before his mom, Katie, joined him in the interrogation room.
What's going on?
They say I killed her.
What?
They think I killed her. They found a body, and they said I killed her.
What was this new information?
But I just left her on purpose.
You left her on purpose?
I left her on you was being annoying. She wouldn't stop saying what she wanted from the store. She wouldn't stop being annoying. They think I killed her, Mom. Mom, I think I killed her. What's gonna happen to me? What's gonna happen to me? I promise I wouldn't do anything for anybody like that. Yeah. I didn't think that it would happen like that. I figured she would find some way to get you guys to come together. What? How did she die? How did she get killed? How?
Katie continued to try to calm her son, but it was clear she had a horrible inkling as to where events were leading them.
I didn't do anything to her, I'm sure. Oh, what's gonna happen to me? Where am I going?
I don't know. I don't know if you're getting arrested. I don't know what's going on. Are you going to tell me everything that happened?
I don't want to tell them without a lawyer.
Katie stepped out to break the news to the police that Aiden no longer wanted to talk to them without a lawyer present. Just because they couldn't ask Aiden any more questions, though, the investigation had to come to a screeching halt. A new detective came in to update Katie and Aiden about what would happen next.
We've got some more physical testing that we would like to do on Aiden, a sexual assault exam. That is something that, of course, we don't do here. Medical professionals would do that. So, that is where they would get some more DNA from you on different parts of your body. Okay?
Briefly alone again, Katie didn't mince words when explaining the reason behind the additional testing to her son.
That's to see if you
What the hell?
Aiden ultimately agreed to the examination, but it took a while for the police to arrange transportation to the hospital. While he waited, Aiden made a few more remarks to his mother.
She was such a short life. It's very sad. 10 years. Very sad.
I think Jacoby had to go over to where the body was, like confirm it.
We don't have. I'm sure they'll have to identify her at some point.
Yes, we can't believe she's dead.
Shortly, Aiden was transported to the hospital and given a sexual assault exam. Afterwards, he was taken to a social services facility at his mother's request. He would only be there for a short time because 2 days later, the police made contact with Aiden again. DNA from Kaya's body matched his. Aiden was under arrest for murder. However, there was still a lot of questions that needed answering, and Aiden continued to profess his innocence. Just a month later, though, the truth came out thanks to a very unexpected source. One of his peers came forward requesting to speak with police and investigators with the district attorney's office, headed to the juvenile detention facility where Aiden was being held.
So, what can you tell us about what you know about Aiden?
He told me that he killed his stepsister, and that she's like 10 or 11 years old. And that he said that he had like a metal pole or something. He said it was like that big or something like that, and that he just kept hitting her with it. And that he said he saw her brain, and that he like fractured her skull and all this stuff, and that he just kept beating her.
Where did he say he hit her at?
He said he hit her right here. Okay. That's the side of the head.
This was gruesomely consistent with the results of Kaya's autopsy. Kaya's body had multiple skull fractures, along with abrasions and bruises all over her body. Defensive wounds, such as a torn fingernail, suggested that Kaya fought back. The medical examiner believed she had ultimately been beaten to death.
Great tasting Vibations Cannabis and Electrolyte Drink Mix gives you advanced hydration, fast acting, made with full spectrum cannabis oil and electrolytes. You get the energy and focus by.
Detectives had noted earlier that Aiden also had bruises on his body. Now they suspected the injuries had been inflicted by Kaya trying to defend herself, especially since Aiden's DNA was identified under her fingernails.
And he dragged her like, I don't know how he just said he dragged her to the, like other side, like by the river.
Evidence from the crime scene seemed to validate this part of the story as well. Crime scene investigators noticed abrasions on Kaya's body, as well as drag marks in the foliage, which led them to believe that the body had been moved.
And that's, he said he saw what he did, but he said he ran off and he took off running to home. And that he was just like scared because he thought nobody saw him. And then he started telling everybody he blacked out, but then he was describing everything about it. He thought, I blacked out, I didn't know what I was doing, but he was describing everything that happened.
According to Aiden's peer, Aiden had been planning to run away from home the following day. But when the police showed up at his house the same night Kaya vanished, that plan was dashed.
You mentioned that he had a pole. Did he say at all where he got this pole?
No, he didn't tell me where he got it. He just said it was like a fence pole or something like that.
There was just one problem. The police never found a metal pole at the crime scene. A search warrant was executed on Aiden's house, and several hammers were seized, but none of them matched Kaya's wounds. When they heard about the new metal pipe theory, Kaya's mother and grandfather decided to search the area themselves. Near the crime scene, they found a metal pipe abandoned in the grass. They immediately reported the discovery to the police, who took the pipe into evidence. Back at the detention facility, Aiden's peer was able to answer even more of investigators' lingering questions.
Did he mention more than just a lot of blood and stuff?
No, he was saying that, because he was saying that the detective said that there's blood on his shoe, or something like that, and then he was like, I don't know, I thought I cleaned the blood off my shoe, but he's like, I don't know, because they're saying it's on there, but I'm pretty sure there's no blood on my shoe.
Okay. And did he say why there wouldn't be any blood on his shoe?
Yeah, because he said he washed it off.
At least he tried to. Police found blood on the laces of the shoes and the clothes they took from Aiden during his interrogation. The DNA was matched to Kaya, but it got worse because more DNA evidence indicated that Kaya may have been sexually assaulted. Despite all of this evidence, there was still one massive question. What was Aiden's motive for such a horrific crime?
Did he say why he started hitting her?
No, he
what made him decide to do that?
I don't know, he just said that he was stressed and that he had a lot on his mind and that he just let it get to him or something like that.
Okay.
He's just saying that like he didn't like her family and stuff like that, like he just didn't like her dad. Like to me it just seemed like he was jealous or just like he didn't really like get along with her.
Aiden remains the only person who can say for sure why he ended Kaya's life so brutally. So far, he has not admitted anything. On December 16, 2021, Aiden, now 17, pled guilty to first-degree murder. He was sentenced to 40 years to life in prison. While this in no way makes up for the tragic loss of Kaya, hopefully her family finds some peace in the knowledge that justice has been served.
And I will see you, little pretty bird, in my next video. Bye-bye. Oh, perfect. Okay, so bye-bye.
I gave it a shot. I came in and had the procedure done. To me, it was amazing. Wow, oh my God.
What happened?
Oh, calm down.
What happened? What happened? Albert, I can't believe what happened.
On a summer afternoon, officers from the Ellenville Village Police Department are informed about a missing person. What ensues is a case with a chain of events fueled by delusional accusations, killings, and connections to iconic pop stars that will forever leave its mark. Most of the following body cam footage has never been seen before.
So you lied to me?
Yeah, do.
Why did you lie to me?
Because I'm above.
It's the afternoon of July 23, 2016, and 52-year-old Mary Gilbert has not been seen or heard from in approximately 3.5 hours. As her daughter Cherie informs authorities, a foreboding sense of dismay begins to descend upon the scene.
Hello. Did you call? Yeah. I'm just Sarah. Okay. From your mom? Yes. My sister has a mental illness. Okay. You don't know what's going on.
Cherie is referring to her 27-year-old sister, Sarah Gilbert. In a statement to police, Cherie claims early that morning, Sarah called her sister and said that she was hearing voices, and she sounded out of it, like robotic, no emotional response.
So mom's car is here.
Mom's car is here. I don't know where. They're not answering the door. She's not answering the phone. I don't know what's going on.
Do you hear anything inside, yelling or nothing? No sound whatsoever?
No. My sister has a mental illness, though. Like, she hears voices.
Yeah.
And she told me this morning. Are you familiar with her?
I know, sir.
Okay.
3 weeks prior, on July 1st, Officer Bell responded to a call at Rite Aid Pharmacy, where Sarah was trying to fill prescriptions for her 6-year-old son, Hayden. The pharmacy informed Sarah that the medications were sent to another pharmacy, but she refused to leave the store without getting them. After failing to escort her from the store, dispatch officers took Sarah into custody and transported her to Kingston Hospital for a medical evaluation.
And so she called me this morning, and she's like, oh, I heard voices. I know that you, my other sister that died, are God. I said, I'm not God. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
My mom this morning said she's going to go check on her. We haven't heard from her since 9 this morning. And her car is here. She's not answering our phone. She's not answering our texts. They're not answering the door. I pounded on every single window.
And it's this door right here?
It's this door in Stockholm.
What's your mother's name?
Mary.
Mary.
Mary Gilbert.
Six 743 attempts to make contact. Phone appears to be officer's house.
Copy that.
As tensions escalate with every failed attempt to contact Mary, her husband Elroy soon arrives at the crime scene. It's what he discovers that will turn the case over its head.
How you doing?
All right. You got handled yet?
Do you have keys for the apartment?
No.
Who are you then?
Exactly. No, from the wife.
Is your wife?
Yes.
Your wife and your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
That window is open. Is it open?
What we doing right now?
Do you think I could fit through there?
Wow.
No, it's not.
No. Wow.
Is that stop the car?
Can you see through there? You're taller than me. No, the stoppers are in the... I don't see anything.
There's a vacuum here. I'm going to bother in the vacuum.
This is not the first time authorities have visited this home. 5 months earlier, on February 19, 2016, officers were called to the house when Sarah's mother, Mary, reported something deeply disturbing.
Please.
You're looking for Sarah Gilbert.
Sarah.
Sarah?
You open the door?
Mom.
Sarah?
Yes.
Clam. You all right?
I'm right here. That's cool.
Let me talk to you.
Yes, you can.
How come you're all wet?
So I just got off the bath.
Officers will soon uncover a chilling reason behind this bath. For now, they continue with their questions.
Who else is in the hospital?
Nobody.
You sure?
Yeah.
Take a quick look around. Doctor will talk to you. Okay?
You get an argument with your family, or
Yeah.
over what?
My sister's death.
When did your sister die?
My sister died 2010.
Sarah is referring to her other sister, Shannon Gilbert, who went missing on May 1st, 2010. Her remains were discovered 19 months later, on December 13th, 2011, in a marsh near Oak Beach. The search for Shannon had led authorities to discover the remains of 10 other missing women, which invited intense media coverage and put the Gilberts under the spotlight.
Okay. So that's what the argument was about?
Yeah.
You just thinking about it?
Yeah, I believe my mom had something to do with that. She was the 2010 escort services.
Did you get in a physical altercation with them, or are you just yelling?
Just yelling.
You didn't push each other, or?
Hmm.
Okay. Did you harm any animals?
No.
The officer's seemingly odd question is the reason they're called to the residence, and he continues to press Sarah for more information.
Yeah. Do you have any animals in the apartment?
No.
You never owned one?
Yeah.
When did you own an animal?
A dog.
When?
Just recently. I don't have it anymore.
Where is it?
I don't know. I ran away.
The dog ran away?
Yeah.
When?
The other day.
When's the other day? What was the date?
Probably yesterday, I think it was. Or today.
Yesterday or today?
Yeah.
It's pretty recent, so.
In the other room, Lieutenant Mike searches for this missing dog because Sarah's mother has told authorities about an appalling incident involving a puppy. Lieutenant Mike doesn't see any signs of the puppy, and immediately Sarah asks to speak with him about her concerns.
I would say that because, like, we went down the other day to the newspaper articles. Mike.
Yeah.
Can you come here? Can I tell you my story?
Yep.
We went down to the newspaper articles.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
You got upset about that?
Yeah.
That's understandable. Think you need to tell me about it?
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. Why don't you get some shoes and stuff, huh?
I'm gonna talk to my mom about it. She's gonna come back.
No, she's at the station, so she's waiting there for you.
No, I want her to come here.
But she's waiting there for
I'm
you.
not going over there.
Why?
Because I'm not going over there. I'm not even dressed.
With their patience wearing thin, officers confront Sarah with the reason behind their visit.
Where's the dog?
The dog?
Yeah, what happened to the dog?
The dog ran away.
That's not what I heard. So you're gonna come with us to the station and talk to your mom at the police station. Where's your shoes?
Just as they're about to leave the house, officers make a deplorable discovery.
Look at that.
The dog?
The dog's in the bed? They ran away.
No, I don't.
The dog looks like it's dead. So you lied to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did you lie to me?
Because I'm evil.
You're evil. Why are you evil? Did you get a moment? You're not evil. I don't believe that you're evil. Either maybe you're angry, you're scared, or I have the police here, but what happened?
You know what happened? You know what happened?
What happened to the dog?
You know what you guys said?
You know what we did?
Yeah, what you guys said.
What did we do?
You're evil. And it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault.
I'm asking what happened to
I'm
the dog.
sorry. It wasn't your fault.
What happened to the dog? Sarah, what happened to the dog?
I killed it.
How?
I drowned it.
Why?
Because I had to.
So is that why you're wet? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll just figure it out. We're going to go to the station.
As officers escort Sarah to the patrol car, dispatch calls in a request from the police station.
I have a grandmother, the father, and the juvenile here. Is it okay if the father takes the child with him right now?
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. It's, I'll take it. It's fine. You have a camera in the front? Yeah. Drunk music? Yeah, sit on back.
Sarah has a 6-year-old son, Hayden, with her boyfriend, Manny. Soon, Manny will share distressing details about Sarah's son and the puppy. For now, Lieutenant Mike puts Sarah in the patrol car while officers photograph the evidence.
Everything she was out. Take pictures anyway. I don't know what they're going to do with this. if she doesn't homicide, I don't know. So,
After photographing the dead puppy inside the trash bag, officers go to the bathroom where Sarah drowned the dog earlier that morning and are about to make yet another sickening observation.
Yep, that was his regurgitation of the dog.
As Lieutenant Mike drives Sarah to the police station, she makes more disconcerting comments that offer some insight into the gruesome attack on the dog.
So why'd you kill it? Did the dog do something bad? What did it do?
Broke my heart.
Okay.
While Sarah provides no solid explanation, her boyfriend, Manny, shares more details in an interview almost a year after the incident. The opinions expressed here solely belong to Manny, and we have not been able to verify them.
Was that your dog? That was the dog from the son. So when my son told me this, when he came home, the dog fixed in the kennel. The little kennel was Stephen Mike, I need the dog back. I seen over there, so the bathtub up, took the dog in and shot the dog. And my son said, when she was walking away, like the dog was still like, you know what I'm saying, breathing. She ended up walking back again, ended up killing him. So she sees the dog is still in the dog's back. It's the finish line. This is what my son told me.
During her arraignment a week later on February 28, 2016, Sarah stated, "He wasn't in the bathroom with me when I did it." While we may never have a definitive answer on what actually happened in the bathroom, it's clear that the animal suffered a torturous end. At the station, Sarah is greeted by her mother, Mary, who reported this case.
Come on.
I know. You might feel you don't.
She feels that you don't love her. I don't know why that is.
I know. What do you call? I love you, Grandma. I love you, son. I'll always love you. I'll always love you. And I'm going to be here for you. Even don't be ready. I love you. Sometimes mom's got to do these things to show love and nice things they love. Like that, it's something that it's okay. I understand. You nice things. I love you with all my heart. And I'm always going to be here for you. Always, forever. I am, Mom. You saying that? I am, Mom. Yeah, what? They'll be here forever.
Before leaving, Mary makes a comment to her daughter that will have chilling ramifications 5 months later.
Thank you so much. Now remember, nothing will ever do it wrong. Will ever take my life away from you. Okay?
For intentionally drowning her son's dog, Sarah was charged with aggravated cruelty, unlawful possession of a substance, endangering the welfare of a child, and for violating the mental health law. A month later, on March 9, 2016, Sarah was ordered to the Mid-Hudson Forensic Psychiatric Center for a...
Lady's mad about this one singular clip. This one singular clip caused a fucking domino.
No! So you went in my backpack and stole $600. So where did it go? Because every time I put money up to put in my motherfucking account and make sure my shit good, you steal it all. No! It's what? No! Stop! Don't touch me! No, please,
Schools are meant to be a safe space, a place for learning and growth. But sometimes bad behavior pushes things too far, and the consequences come.
See if this dude's finally ready to come out of here. Are you ready to come out of there, Boogie?
Oh, I'm ready.
Is the door unlocked, dude? Get out of there,
Pay me.
Yo!
What's up?
Yo.
What's up, Doc?
Yo, where did you get that?
Where did I get this?
Yeah. Oh, you want to know where I got this? The guy got in the lunch bag.
No, Boogie, I'm serious. Did you get out of that prop room?
Oh no, this didn't come out of the prop room. This came out of your parents' room.
That's a real gun.
Yes, it
That's a
is.
real gun.
This
No,
was the
Boogie.
gun your
Boogie.
mom pulled on me. You understand that?
Okay, I'm
Okay.
sorry about that. She was
Swift,
scared.
Swift,
Boogie.
I want you to keep filming no matter what.
All right.
Okay, you keep that camera up, and I want you to
Boogie,
film this.
drop
okay?
the gun.
Okay,
It's
Boogie.
a gun.
I know it is. I know it is, Jeff. Don't you dare. Jesse, if you try to run, I will kill him if you get away.
Boogie, please
and
don't
if
kill
you
me.
try to get
Boogie,
away, I
Boogie.
will kill him. Do you understand?
This is not a series. This is not Psycho series.
Oh,
Put down the
I
freaking
know.
gun.
Trust me, buddy, I know.
All right. The business is growing, but we've grown so big, I don't have time to focus on growing the business. I'm wasting time doing manual work.
This is the moment the managers of this large scam operation discovered they'd been hacked. I know a lot more about you than what you think I know.
What do you know about me? Tell me, what's my name? Don't try to be over smart, buddy.
Faisal, you think I don't know your name, buddy?
No, that's not my name.
Let me talk to Daoud, the
No,
CEO of Expert Tech Solutions. How about Umar? How about Amar, buddy? I know you're in Ali Tower. Let me talk to Daoud right now. He's sitting looking right at you, sitting there in that black and gray jacket with those khakis on that you're wearing, and Amar in his white sweater, all right? And Umar over there in the other desk with the striped black and white long sleeve shirt and a vest on. Next up, I destroyed a couple of their PCs with destructive malware.
Oh.
Why are you so quiet right now? While I destroy your computers.
Okay.
Your computer's destroyed, Osmi. Oh, but what are these scammers doing to warrant such invasive behavior on my part? In short, this scam company called Expert Tech Solutions impersonates Canadian telecommunications companies like TELUS, Rogers, Bell Canada, and Koodo in order to gain access to their victims' accounts and then use their victims' money to purchase smartphones, which they will...
Get in there quick, man. You never put it there, bitch.
What? It's in that door on the left, but always narrow though.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Excuse me.
On June 1st, 2024, reports of an employee. Learn more about Rocky and RethinkCE.com.
I started running my home garage because the work around the street wasn't working for my buddies in the trade. These guys deserve a brand that listens to their needs. Every week, our team gathers in the front garage and we open up for our customers.
Reports of an employee being held hostage at a gas station.
Welcome to our coverage of America's fastest growing sport. Michelle McMahon here alongside Dave Fleming, and we are thrilled to have you with us to witness some of the best pickleball talent in the world. This feels like it's going to be special.
Jay DeVilliers is ready to deliver the first serve. Let's play pickleball. Here we go.
Look at that shot. I absolutely love it.
Yes, a silky smooth cross-court shot. That was definitely struck with authority.
Yeah.
There's a ferocious finish.
1-0. Jay DeVilliers takes over.
Now there's a fantastic passing shot.
1-0. The player takes over the serve. That's as good as it gets, Dave.
Yeah, that was a heck of a shot. That was definitely struck with authority.
3-0.
There's some power being displayed. Great start in this game. Quickly up 4-0. What a shot! Goes inside out.
4-0. Jay DeVilliers takes over.
Hey, can you hear me? Hey, can you wait outside? Can you wait outside?
Well, that was certainly hit with pace.
And the sound of that ball was vicious. That's a big-time forehand to put that ball right on the line.
The player took one a shot into the corner. In a flash, they've taken this match over, Dave.
Yeah, and you can tell. You can just see it in their body language. They're lacking focus, and they are lacking energy.
Jay DeVilliers, what a shot. The serve returns to the paddle of Jay DeVilliers. 5-0. How good was that, Dave?
So good, Michelle. A clean winner on a beautiful passing shot.
Side out here for the player. An easy speed-up chance, and it was executed flawlessly.
For sure. That ball was just too high. It's got to stay down.
Beautiful inside-out shot right there.
Yeah, that was certainly garnishing a couple of style points. Great technique.
Serve returns to the paddle of Jay DeVilliers.
Beautiful passing shot. I absolutely love this shot from Jay DeVilliers. Read it perfectly and executed a beautiful two-handed backhand winner. Now there's some power on display.
Side out here for the player.
Oh.
Drop
I missed it.
What a beauty.
Gorgeous. Jay DeVilliers takes over. That ball was put away with authority. 6-2. The player takes over the serve. Great shot there.
Yeah, great shot and great depth.
Great work at the kitchen. Left no doubt in that volley. Serve returns to the paddle of Jay DeVilliers.
Great finish on the volley.
7-2. The player to serve. Hands chested on both sides. No problem.
I got it.
Wow,
Fuck.
you just can't
That's
defend
right.
that. Jay DeVilliers now with the side out.
Oh, Mitch.
Wow, Jay DeVilliers let it rip.
8-3.
Get the ball back.
Passing shot and a beauty. 8-4. Jay DeVilliers would not be denied. It's getting interesting.
Oh my, it is indeed. There's a beautiful volley into the open court.
8-5. The player to serve.
Jay DeVilliers refusing to be denied there. Two-handed backhand smoke.
Very tough to control that lob.
It's a unique skill that not every player has. It's a weapon if you've got it.
Serve returns to the paddle of Jay DeVilliers. That one's not coming back.
Absolutely not. The pros play great defense, but no chance on that one.
The player takes over the serve. Getting it done that time with a passing shot. Finesse touch. Serve returns to the paddle of Jay DeVilliers.
It's all right. We'll get it back.
Look at this drop volley. That is filth.
Side out here for the player.
Did you get this anywhere else? I just on my face I grabbed the weight in my hand.
Oh, bit of a touch there. Jay DeVilliers takes over. Wow, stepped in and made that volley look easy.
Just no panic in that volley. So solid. Making the opponent have to hit a miracle shot on the run.
9-7.
No, are you serious? Just toss it right back to him. He just went for the fucking corner right there. Fucking buck, dude. Honestly, dude. Need ball back, dude.
That was an amazing ATP right there. We are all tied up.
Jay DeVilliers on court that time. Backhand winner.
Drop volley. A beauty.
Gorgeous. Game point here. Now, can they put it away? And that will do it.
Son of a bitch.
I know you already love pickleball, but how can you not love it more after watching that? That's how you grind out a win.
They're up 1-0. That's fantastic.
I'm sure that there are people all over the country practicing those drop volleys right now.
Jay DeVilliers now with the side out.
Great job getting the ball into the perfect location.
Side out here for the player.
Jay DeVilliers has got one of the liveliest arms on tour, and that was spanked.
Serve returns to the paddle of Jay DeVilliers. That volley was so crisp.
You figure it out, you're like, oh, well, you gotta cut.
Wow, stepped in and made that volley look easy. The player takes over the serve.
That's just a gorgeous volley.
Jay DeVilliers takes over.
I hope it's gonna be for a long while, but what you did say is, a little concerning.
Yeah.
You talked to this girl before?
No.
No, you've never seen her before?
No. Not in that body.
Well, his responses raise more questions than answers. Randall denies being on medication or being diagnosed with any mental illnesses. Soon after, Randall is taken to the police station for an interrogation. During this interview, he would tell investigators that Eve was a demon who attacked him for years over his use of cigarettes. He claimed the demon needed to be punished and believed that the demon's spirit had been cleansed after the attack. After a long morning, officers gather to discuss the unusual nature of the case.
And it's terrible, dude. The demon. The demon hunter. That's what he told you. Yeah. She's young too, just trying to work. He's right. Yeah, you know what? It's 2024.
Sarah reportedly suffered multiple injuries, including deep lacerations to her left hand, 2 below her chin, and a missing left canine tooth. After his interrogation, 62-year-old Randall Lee Lawton was transported to the John E. Poe Correctional Facility, where he was charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, resisting and obstructing police, and kidnapping. His bond was set at $50,500. On June 4, 2024, he entered a plea of not guilty. The case is still ongoing.
Not so fast, huh? Tell me it looks worse than it is. It looks worse than it is. Oh, it looks like my front bumper. I'm gonna need a new headlight, right? Yeah. You got any ideas?
Okay, so now we look, nope.
I'll give you information.
Nope, turn around before I tase you. Turn around before I tase you. Turn around before I drive telling you. I ain't gonna tell you one more time. You're making me mad. I won't tase you. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get back in the car right now. Get back in the car right now. Going once. Going twice. Get in the car right now. Sit down. Hey, sit down. You sit down right now.
And what are you gonna do?
I will tase you for obstruction. Sit down.
I'm gonna chase. You understand that, right?
Get in the ground. Get in the ground.
You do anything.
Begin again.
When a woman allegedly stabs a fellow Walmart shopper in the neck with a needle and then books it out of the store, cops pursue her into the parking lot, not having any idea of the absolute insanity they're about to encounter. On the evening of August 22nd, 2023, a 19-year-old man who's shopping at his local Walmart in Duluth, Georgia, encounters another shopper, a woman in a yellow plaid shirt. The young man, who we'll just call Tyler for the sake of his privacy, is browsing the electronics section for a present for his mother.
Okay, in the middle of the conversation, I feel a sharp pain on my neck. I walk up close, I feel a sharp pain on my neck, right?
So you need an ambulance?
I'm not totally sure. She told me I had 5 minutes. She said something about poison and Narcan. I went and bent over, I felt something, but I didn't see her do it. And then we kept talking. At the end of our conversation, she told me that in 5 minutes you're going to get this poison agent out of here with Narcan. And then she started laughing. And then I rushed to the front so I could talk to the customers or the clerks here.
During this call, the woman abandons all of the Walmart items she's been gathering and swiftly leaves the store, causing 2 loss prevention employees to follow her as far as the sliding doors. They pause in the parking lot as they're hesitant to follow the woman in the dark, who they can barely see getting into a blue Ford Explorer. At this point, officers Holiday and Blackwell arrive on scene.
Are you the boys that got stuck in the neck?
I don't know. But they're saying they don't read anything, so it might be a panic attack, but I can feel something right here.
Since the 1800s, attacks with hypodermic needles have become a prevalent phenomenon and are often referred to as pinprick attacks or needle spiking. Essentially, these attacks involve one person stabbing another with a needle and syringe full of a dangerous substance or a sedative with the intent of taking advantage of them, or with a contaminated needle for the purpose of transmitting a blood-borne illness. Clearly, Tyler is terrified by the prospect of what he may have been injected with.
She's over there in a blue truck.
Yeah, like a blue SUV. What you said the Explorer, right? Hold up. Don't hit. You hit me, you're going to jail. Don't. Hold up. That means stop. That means stop. That means stop. Put the car in park. Hi. How you doing?
This is 72-year-old Jay Carswell.
Good. You in the car by yourself? Who's in the car with you? Where's your friend at? Sitting in the back. Can you roll your window down? Can you roll that window down?
Can I do anything on you?
Some dungeon entrances in Top Heroes are super sneaky. At Sentry Tower, most players just grab the chest and leave.
No, sorry,
No.
not.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. And what
Did,
else?
did you have a conversation with anybody while you were inside?
I didn't do anything wrong, sir.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. Did you talk to anybody while you were in there?
No, but you want to go back in and we can talk?
This is interesting because while Jennifer claims that she didn't speak to anyone at Walmart, just seconds before she claimed the employees wouldn't check her items on the computer. How could the Walmart employees refuse to check her items if she didn't talk with anyone?
We will in just a second. What's your
Didn't
name?
do anything wrong.
What's your name, real quick, sweetie?
Okay, sir, I didn't do anything wrong.
Right, but I'm sitting here asking you a question because somebody accused you of something.
Okay,
Okay.
no, they did not. I didn't do anything wrong.
They accused you. They pointed you out directly. Vehicle and description and everything. Okay.
I don't believe that.
Well-
I didn't do anything wrong.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay, let's go back and let's talk to the person.
Well, I'd like to find out who you are first.
The state of Georgia maintains a stop and identify law. If police suspect someone has committed a crime, they can lawfully order the subject to identify themselves.
Okay, sir, let's go back and.
Do you have warrants or something?
No, sir.
No? So why don't you want to tell me who you are?
Well, I want to know who's saying something about.
Well, we'll go check that out in a minute, but I'm dealing with you first.
Well, can we please go in there? and
No, we
do all
can't.
this
Because I'm sitting here
together?
talking to you.
I didn't do anything wrong.
That's what we're talking.
I ain't gonna tell you one more time. You make me mad. I won't change you.
Talk to my friend.
Ditch evidence that could be incriminating, and the officers move their focus to Jay.
We take photos already?
Yeah.
We got 10 people standing around.
Well, I don't.
Looking at you. No, I'm just kidding. Sir, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good now.
Yeah? Got your adrenaline up? You have any more fight in you?
No, I'm not trying to fight. I wasn't trying to fight.
All right.
I was just trying to tell her that she was over here hollering my name and everything like she was getting hurt.
Well, your friend over there, your lady friend's real concerned.
You got blood on.
Yep. Mind if I take this probe out of your chest?
I don't mind at all.
Once Jay is also placed in the back of a squad car, officers begin their search of the Ford Explorer.
Dude, what's your people are like playing hard on like on their farm?
I did not. Nate Wilson.
Beneath the many piles of trash, officers find 3 fully loaded guns, 2 shotguns, and a rifle, all in hunting sleeves. Paramedics arrived shortly thereafter to check on Tyler, the alleged needle stabbing victim. And while he described himself as shaking hard, the EMTs didn't find obvious injury and released him. They instructed him to visit the hospital if his symptoms grew worse. EMS checked Jennifer Keenan and Jay Carswell and declared them medically cleared, at which point police transported them to the Gwinnett County Jail. Although no needle was seen on body cam footage, Jennifer Keenan was held on multiple charges, including aggravated battery, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and obstruction, according to her.
Just got home, just got off work. We're thinking it's an animal, and he said, "No, my name's Robert." Oh, there's a dude in my room.
Shots fired.
On the night of June 18, 2023, the Cudahy Police Department in Wisconsin received a strange series of 911 calls coming from a block of houses on Carpenter Avenue. Officers show up on scene to speak with witnesses, and what they reveal is completely bizarre.
What's going on?
Okay, so across the street, not, okay, so we're facing that way.
50 or 29 on
There's
the
a
initial
Jeep
caller.
next to a small house, okay? So upstairs, there's somebody smashed out from the second floor, jumped onto the small roof and ran.
Okay,
So
so
there might be glass on the other
on the south side
not this block.
of Kirkwood. Okay,
It's across the street.
okay. You saw somebody smash glass and jump out the
No,
window?
we heard the smashing glass, and then they jumped out of the window onto the roof. That's the shorter house. So they were on the second floor and jumped and ran that way.
Okay. Did you hear gunshots or anything?
We've heard some freaking sketchy stuff.
5009. Your caller observed a house on the south side of the block, heard glass smash, and saw a subject jump from the window into the roof of another house.
Someone breaking through a window and running across rooftops like Spider-Man on a Father's Day evening in a quiet residential area is odd enough, but nothing can prepare the officers for what happens next.
See if you can find phone numbers, attempt to make contact with anybody inside those houses that can advise if they've had any houses broken into and or saw or heard anything suspicious.
Today, we're asking the real question. What if cookies and cream had a caffeine problem?
Shots fired. 9 desk. I don't know where the shots are coming from, but they're just to the east of us. Officers on scene, answer up. I need squad numbers. Make sure everybody's okay.
Within 10 minutes, another shot rings out. This time it's closer to a different pair of officers, one street over from the first.
So you want to keep your gun up like this. And you can use the garage.
Right there.
Make sure everybody's okay.
All right. Watch your
back. That's good. Let's retreat back on the other side.
Come on, keep an eye out.
66 and Bears from someone here. Good. We just released our guys.
All right.
You're home for this. What's here? For anybody that's got an officer available. I don't know where the shots are coming from, but that's the second shot that was just fired on us.
Oddly, this second shot happens almost immediately after the officer shines his flashlight beam on the detached garage in front of him, which in his report he claimed was in the direction he thought he heard something. Officers are now advised to wait for the South Shore Joint Tactical Unit's armored vehicle to respond with heavy-duty protection gear for the officers, as it's clear someone is shooting, if not at the officers themselves, then very close to them. Before it can arrive, however, a third shot rings out.
It's got to be somebody that had a pretty damn angle, because literally the shot fired right when I got out of my squad car, and then the second shot as soon as we started moving. Split shot was past you. I didn't hear it was past me. That's the thing. I don't know how, if they shot high, if he just shot quick, I have no idea. But the first gunshot was immediately. They walked around the front corner of my squad there, and boom, the shot went off. Then I'm jumping out of my chest and start my goddamn camera like I should have. I think I stopped. Shit. Man, that shot fired.
Shot fired.
It's right in front of us. It's right in front of us. I don't know where he's shooting from. Stay there.
A total of at least 3 shots have been fired in the span of an hour, though this third round marks the final shot officers will hear this evening. The tactical armored vehicle arrives, and officers, now fully suited up, begin to canvass the area. They start with the house that witnesses had identified as the one the suspect initially jumped from, a house further confirmed to be the source by a broken attic window, which was visible on the street, glass shards littering the alleyways between this house and the neighboring.
That's a mistake you just can't make. It's a freebie you don't really see in pickleball.
Heading east, people presumably climbing down somewhere. The house in question is a duplex, and officers managed to call the occupants and have them exit the home.
The overhead, well executed there.
2-0. The player to serve.
Being divided by floors with separate up and downstairs departments. The nearest case that
Look at this drop volley. Phil.
2-0. Serve returns to the paddle of Jay DeVilliers.
Now that's a sharp volley. Too tough to handle that one.
So we make sure everything is fine in your house. So we don't want to make sure nobody's in there. Would you give us permission to just check? We're going to check the attic. We're going to check here, the lower, and the basement. Make sure that nobody's hiding.
Great work at the kitchen. Left no doubt in that volley.
Is that okay?
Side out here for the player. Smash that one.
That was hit with bad intentions. My goodness.
Nice work at the kitchen. Great read.
All over that one with the volley winner.
3-2.
Both she and Asmira confirmed to police that no one else should be in the home, and that they had no idea who might have been in the attic, much less jump through the attic window onto the neighbor's roof. With this in mind, officers entered
Finds the cross-court opening.
the top and bottom floors and were cleaning the attic.
Clean rip that time, painting the sidelines with the two-hander.
4-3.
After several hours of searching, officers were forced to call off the search at the blast in the
Just too good. Short return, and that ball got lit up.
Asmira and her family, as well as the elderly tenant downstairs, are allowed back in their homes until police leave the area. Little do they know that they will soon be back in response to yet another bizarre.
Just a great counter after that ball was sped up.
Jay DeVilliers now with the side out.
Who's up there with him?
My boyfriend.
The couple have returned home to find a strange man hiding in their attic. Near hours after police had called off the search for yet another criminal attic dweller.
So much power on that overhead.
5-3. The player takes over the serve. And that one's not coming back.
Absolute not. The pros play great defense, but no chance on that one.
6-3.
36, he's on the porch with another individual on the heading up there. Hey, I'm putting my foot your way. Turn around. I'm trying to turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Suspect up here.
Huge overhead.
Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back.
That's a lack of focus. You've got the two-bounce rule in pickleball, which means the ball has to bounce at least once on each side of the court to get the rally started.
Read it perfectly and went inside out. The player to serve.
Well, we're going to get you out downstairs. He's got a firearm right here. Let's see what I'm on. He's got a firearm behind me. This individual's got to come downstairs. Yeah, we'll get you downstairs.
Great passing shot that time. What a shot. Jay DeVilliers takes over. Jay DeVilliers drives it home. An unforced error on the missed return.
Mistakes are going to happen sometimes. Just have to regroup and move on to the next point.
Are you kidding me? That was insane.
Drop volley. Oh, my goodness.
Where do you live? You live on Carpenter?
Sped it up that time and won the battle. Side out here for the player.
Across roofs last night. Hey, come across here yesterday.
The Flying Frenchman just showing off on that finish.
Jay DeVilliers now with the side out.
What's your name? What's your birthday?
A phenomenal passing shot for the winner.
7-6. The player takes over the serve.
Where you stay at, bro? Yeah, what's up off the way, man? You stay on Carpenter? You called here?
Look at that two-handed backhand from Jay. My goodness.
Serve returns to the paddle of Jay DeVilliers.
He was mentioned previously by Travis and was over at his family home the prior day while he broke the window out of his grandmother's house and ran across the room.
And that was just an absolute bullet on the line. We are all tied up.
Terry knew Robert had been in the attic and hadn't left the home is unclear.
After you got crawled out of that.
That's a beauty. Great forehand. We are all tied up.
The player to serve.
Thank you. I see why you're doing that.
Are you kidding me? A clean winner off the dink? Come on. We are all tied up.
Jay DeVilliers takes over.
No, they're using that.
Oh, the finesse play right there with a drop volley. 8-7.
Gives up a 3-point here. You're not going to win too many matches if you don't even try to return the serve.
36 to 106.
And there's a rocket of a forehand that stays in.
9-7. The player to serve.
Just too good. Short return, and that ball got lit up.
I got to do you asked, right? Yeah, that's all.
That was so good. Two-handed backhand, and that ball landed right on the baseline. We are all tied up. That's just too short on the return. It's going to get attacked every single time.
Game point and a chance to take the game right here.
With the way they've played, I expect them to...
It's over.
Well, they made it interesting at the end, but it wasn't quite enough.
We'll take a short break, and then we have Game 3 coming up next.
Okay. Did he have anything?
No, once he heard us in here, he said, "My name's Robert, I'm in the attic." Then he tried to come down, I didn't know what to expect. He said he lives right there.
Have you seen that? Ever seen this?
I've never seen him before. I could have, but I couldn't tell. He was so covered. I don't know.
Man.
On paper for hit and run involved great bodily harm, hit and run involved injury, and homicide by dangerous weapon.
As was just mentioned on the officer's radio, it turns out that Robert has a serious criminal history. He was convicted of homicide by negligent handling of a weapon or explosives in 2007 and served 8 years in prison. At the time of this incident, he was on probation, and despite his family claiming he didn't live with them, the Milwaukee Department of Corrections had their address down as his place of residence.
So you see the inflation all over the floor, what do you do next?
I immediately looked up, because I knew that's where it came from. Like, none of this was on the floor. So I knew something was in the attic. We thought it was like a raccoon or something. But then he started screaming, "My name's Robert, my name's Robert." I said, "I have a gun, get your down. Your brother's missing." So he must have just went right up into the attic. He didn't touch anything. He came in here with my dog.
Was the dog barking when you got? I mean,
the dog barks at me if I come home. The dog barks at me in the bathroom.
So really nothing suspicious with the dog then when you came home?
No.
Got it. Okay.
So you leave this door open at night sometimes? Yeah, we let it so the dog can see outside.
So that door to the porch is on?
Yeah, we usually leave the porch door open so the dog can. I never expected anything like this in this neighborhood. That's what I look like.
Right. No, that's quite a shock when you get home. So what was he asking for? He said he would give you money to help him out, or?
He asked me to call his grandmother. He said he'd give me $300 on Friday if I didn't call the police.
Police then began the arduous process of tracking down the gun they believe Robert was shooting the night before, starting in the attic before moving to the surrounding yards.
Oh.
He had plenty of time to bury it, that's for sure.
Eventually, they locate the firearm in a fittingly bizarre place, consistent with the theme of the rest of this case.
Oh, in the grill? Get the fuck out of here. Nice. That, dude. Way to climb up in the attic, dude. 106.
106,
Yeah, we located the firearm.
According to the complaint, Police later found a spent shell casing in the area that matched the gun that was located in the charcoal grill. And, like Robert, the firearm was also covered in bits of insulation. As for the chalky, multicolored pills found in the baggie from Robert's pocket, the complaint referred to them as ecstasy. Robert Turner was subsequently charged with first-degree recklessly endangering safety, use of a dangerous weapon, possession of a firearm by a felon, and armed burglary, and he remains in custody currently. His initial plea of not guilty was entered in September, and his next court date is set for early November of 2023. He maintains that he wasn't shooting at police, though gave no clear alternative explanation for his actions. He also didn't have an explanation for his obsession with addicts.
Police department! There's a subject down. Third victim? Yeah. 115, we have 3 victims. Start us at least 3 ambulances. Police department! Sound off if you're here! Police department! Cedar Rapids Police, if anyone's inside, sound off now! Fourth victim.
We had a triple homicide.
The body cam you are watching is from the Cedar Rapids Police Department in Iowa. As you just heard, officers have just discovered 4 bodies gunned down inside this house.
Fourth victim.
We had a triple homicide.
One of the 4 victims survived, 20-year-old Alexander Jackson. Heroically, Alex dialed 911 following the shooting.
When County Sheriff Court, your emergency.
Sure. Something wasn't our house. All right, it's 4414. Oak Police Department 14. I've been shot. My other family member's been shot. I need help immediately.
Okay, I'm doing Cedar Rapids on the line here. Okay, what's going on?
There, someone's out there.
Okay.
Shot.
You've been shot?
I just been shot.
According to Alex, his family home just became the target of a home invasion, and the intruder shot him and his family.
Do you know who it was that broke in? A man? Could you tell if they were white, black, Hispanic?
It seemed that Alex was in a state of shock as he struggled to answer the dispatcher's questions.
Do you remember what color shirt or what color chairs this guy had? Anything about him?
Black?
Do you think it was a black male or a black shirt? What do you think happened?
The dispatcher relayed this information to all units in the Cedar Rapids area and encouraged Alex to hang in there while she asked more questions.
Alex, did that call come in okay? Just stay on the line with me and don't hang out, okay? Is anybody else home with you? I just want to make sure that we know who's supposed to be in the house, okay? Just you and your sister for now, right? Yeah. No parents or grandparents, animals? My mom is here. Your mom is there too? Yeah. Okay, so you, your sister, and your mom? Yeah.
Dispatch then decided to call the home's landline phone to see if any other family members would pick up.
You hear it ringing? You hear it ringing? Nobody's answering the house phone. Are you sure it's somebody's home? They could be. Okay.
Without hearing the phone ring, authorities wondered if Alex was calling from another location, playing a sick joke on 911. So, one of the officers rang the doorbell to confirm that Alex was inside the house.
Okay, I got officers in the back and the front. They're just trying to get mom and sister to come to the door if they're there, okay? That's why they're ringing your doorbell. Okay.
It's the big summer sale. Shop and save on styles made to match your summer energy.
This seemed to confirm that Alex was in fact inside the house. So, the team of officers moved in, guns drawn.
Police department!
As they entered through the back basement door, they immediately discovered the dead body of 61-year-old Jan Jackson, Alex's father, face down on the living room floor.
There's a subject down.
On the ground beside him was a Browning .22 caliber semi-automatic rifle. There was also a trail of bloody footprints leading down the adjoining hallway, where Alex was found crawling on the ground. He was still on the phone with 911, but appeared to be immobilized due to the gunshot wound on his foot.
Who's this guy? Hey, who are you? Yeah, that's your dad? What happened? What happened? You can't know? There was a man. Who else is here? My sister. She's back? Yeah, she's in her room. Is he okay? I think so. Sabrina? Sabrina? Is that a room right there? Yeah.
One of the officers then entered 19-year-old Sabrina Jackson's room and found her in the fetal position under the covers with a gunshot wound to her left eye. She was unresponsive.
Third victim. Third victim? Yeah.
Yeah. 1:15, we have 3 victims. Start us at least 3 ambulances.
Alex, Jan, and Sabrina had been accounted for, but Alex's mom, 68-year-old Melissa Jackson, was still missing. Concerned for Melissa's well-being, officers began clearing every room in the house, being as cautious as possible in case the shooter was still inside.
Who's with me? Yep. Lost my bag. I want to start here. I want to hold it. Police department! Stand off with your ear! Police department! Yeah, I got a garage back here. I'm gonna check the garage. Yes, that's fine. Well, assuming there's a mother around here somewhere. Cedar Rapids Police, if anyone's inside, sound out now. Police department?
Can you get this bond quick?
Moving into the master bedroom, the officers found Melissa.
We had a triple homicide.
Back downstairs, the officers tried to get more information from Alex, but just like the 911 call, his answers were extremely vague.
Are you with a log or limb?
What's your name? What's your name?
Alex.
Alex. Alex, what happened? What man? Breathe and relax, alright? Yep, we're getting everybody. I want you to relax and worry about yourself right now. And get some shock about everything. Once the house was cleared of any threats, Alex was escorted outside where he was met by several EMTs. He was strapped into a stretcher and loaded into an ambulance. While the EMTs set up an IV for Alex, he suddenly began sharing more details about the home invasion.
You ran into who? Okay. You ran into how? You ran into this? Like a fist or? Okay. That's church. Yeah, my foot. You were sleeping on the porch? Yeah. Okay. Then what happened? Did you hear gunshots or what? Yeah.
With apartments.com capturing the hearts of hundreds of millions of renters, everybody wants the secret to our success, but
Saw somebody in your house? Yeah. Alex, who opened the back door? I don't know. And saw one guy? Yeah. One gun? Yeah.
back at the crime scene, the medical examiner was taken through the house to inspect each victim.
First one's right here. Shot in the head.
Actually, Alex's father, Jan, wasn't shot in the head. He was shot in the neck, chest, and back, a total of 5 times. He also had several fresh wounds on his face, likely from falling over after being shot.
Where's the next one? Here. Another gunshot to the head. I don't know where the entrance one.
Sabrina was shot twice, once in the torso and the other through the left eye into her brain.
Watch out, you don't step on their house. Multiple gunshot wounds.
As for Melissa, she had 2 gunshot wounds to her head, one to her right temple and the other next to her left eye. There was gunshot residue on her face, indicating that this was a close-range execution. Alex arrived at the hospital at 9:15 a.m., and as he was being transported to the emergency room, the lead detectives showed up too. Matthew Denlinger, a seasoned detective who has been with the Cedar Rapids Police Department for 20-plus years, and Sarah Lucina, a face you may find familiar due to her frequent appearances on reality TV shows like MTV's The Challenge and Survivor. The detectives learned that Alex was quite talkative with the medics while in the ambulance, so they were eager to formally interview him. The medical staff needed more time to treat his foot, so the detectives improvised by setting up one of the officers' body cams in the emergency room. They wanted to be prepared in case Alex shared any important details. The medical staff eventually cleared the room, so the detectives jumped into questioning Alex. The most pressing issue was that the detectives still didn't have a clear description of the intruder.
White man, black man, Hispanic, Asian.
I know he's wearing black clothes.
Even after the adrenaline had worn off of him, Alex's ability to answer simple questions didn't seem to improve. Throughout the questioning, he would hesitate and sigh, struggling to provide any answers with confidence. This was inconvenient for the officers back at the crime scene, who were in communication with the detectives as they searched for the suspect. With Corsa the canine by their side, they swept the surrounding area, trying to pick up any familiar scents from the crime scene, but they weren't having any luck. Several other officers went door to door, asking the neighbors if they had seen or heard anything unusual that morning.
You guys hear anything? You guys hear any shots?
But once again, no new leads. This seemed odd to the investigators. The temperature was over 70 degrees Fahrenheit around the time of the shooting. If someone was walking around this idyllic neighborhood, dressed in all black and wearing a ski mask, shouldn't somebody have noticed? The investigators also checked the Ring doorbell cameras at the Jacksons' residence to see if they caught the intruder on video. Unfortunately, there was no sign of the intruder on the front door camera, and strangely, the back door camera had been disabled. They also gained access to several home security cameras around the neighborhood. They scrubbed through the footage beginning at 6 a.m., hoping to catch a glimpse of their intruder. But nobody appears on camera until first responders arrive at 8:31 a.m. The detectives, who were getting these updates throughout Alex's interview, were beginning to question if his story was accurate. They asked him to describe the timeline of events leading up to the 911 call.
Are you sure that was like last night, maybe? Like, what time did you get home last night?
Apparently, the family had a typical evening, eating dinner and watching movies together. The only thing detectives found strange was Alex's sleeping arrangement that night. Alex says he slept until 8 a.m. when suddenly,
downstairs. So I looked downstairs. He was missing my dad's gun. Oh my God. He was on the floor. And I ran at him. Yeah. That guy needs to actually took out the spotted. And then obviously that.
At this moment, the medical staff came back to work on Alex's foot some more, so the detectives stepped out of the room. They took this opportunity to touch base with the forensics unit back at the crime scene to see if Alex's story lined up with the evidence. Although Alex said that the intruder broke in through the back door, there were no signs of a forced entry. There was also no foreign DNA in the house and 0 signs of a major struggle over the gun. This lack of evidence led the detectives to believe that Alex had killed his family and tried to stage it as a home invasion, sustaining a gunshot wound in the...
At CAT, we know small parts make a big impact. Visit parts.cat.com and buy online, operate anywhere. Visit us online at parts.cat.com.
Your ED could be in your head, but for too long, outdated ED meds have been obsessed with your plumbing, giving no thought to the spark that starts in your brain way before anything even twitches. That's why we made Rougiette Ready, the first ED med that works on both brain and body, with sildenafil and tadalafil to help optimize your body's natural response, and apomorphine to complement that reaction in your brain. So don't just get a reaction, get ready.
In the foot in the process. After the detectives learned of this new evidence, Alex went from being the sole survivor to the prime suspect. The detectives re-entered the room and began confronting Alex with some tough questions.
How do you feel about it? How does it feel? Do they do anything that affects you? Oh, yeah, fresh. How did that feel? Very close. Well, close. Have you ever had any problems with that? Any serious problems with them? Yes. Hey. This hurt. I guess.
Actually, there were issues within the family, especially between him and his sister. As they continued their questioning, the detectives learned that Alex and Sabrina butted heads on many things and would regularly fight about their beliefs. Alex had also flunked out of all of his university classes in early 2021. This sparked some tension between Alex and his dad, who was paying his tuition. He told Alex that if he wouldn't fix his grades, he had 2 options: get a job and pay for half of his tuition, or get kicked out of the house.
Like, you're disappointing your family.
Alex insisted that these were minor problems that had no bearing on the love he had for his family. But the detectives weren't buying it. They revealed to Alex that none of the evidence aligned with his story, and that they knew he was hiding something.
Yeah, we stepped out and talked to the coworkers. They were up at your house. Alex, the reality is not any evidence that anyone else was there. Alex, do you want to tell us what happened? What happened?
Because we're not here to judge you at all.
I would tell students as a man. I fought. I got shot. Alex, that's not what evidence shows. That's the first time you use
you thought about this. I didn't do it. I would never hurt my parents. They are important to me. I love them.
The detectives disregarded his claims to innocence. They just wanted to know why he did it.
What's complex to me right now is for me to understand that your life is not
Alex began grasping at straws by saying that this was a burglary turned deadly, but nothing in the house was even stolen.
Your sister was in her George Jones shoot 18, 19-year-old girls.
You don't want to go to shoes. That's why we help. They didn't hurt that much. You know?
The detectives interpreted this comment as if Alex had planned everything out in advance, including being shot in the foot, and expected it to hurt more. They became more assertive with their accusations, which led to some tense back and forth with Alex.
It's better than I could tell now all of the evidence to you, and then you're going to sit here and tell me, basically, I think you're dumb. And what are you saying without saying? I don't have to touch you.
No, you're the difference right now.
Because I didn't kill myself.
Alex tried to guilt trip the detectives multiple times by bringing up his dead family, but he didn't seem emotionally affected in the slightest. Not a single tear was shed throughout the interrogation. The detectives ended the interview by giving him two options.
Do you want to put that down, or do you want to give us some sort of an explanation? I won't make up the phone.
No amount of negotiating was going to get Alex to confess, so they wrapped up the interview. While Alex received foot surgery, the detectives obtained a search warrant for his phone. Alex's phone data showed that it was...
Ready to lose the hat and regrow the hair? With serums by Hims, you can regain your hair and your confidence. Our serums are powered by clinically proven ingredients like minoxidil and finasteride, so you can grow thicker, fuller hair in 3 to 6 months. Your treatment is 100% personalized to your hair goals and comes at an affordable price that works for your budget, so you can step out with full confidence. Hats off to hair growth with treatment that works for you. Start today at hims.com.
active at 6 a.m., but during the interview, he claimed to have been asleep until 8 a.m. when he heard the gunshot. The detective suspected that Alex had done something during those 2 hours that he didn't want them to know about. Confident that they had their killer, the detectives filed Alex's charges, 3 counts of first-degree murder. After being discharged from the hospital, Alex was met by several officers who brought him down to the station. He was given one last chance to tell the detectives what really happened.
Your theory about a ski masked intruder coming in with the worst description on the planet. You have to just be honest with this man. We don't know what left. Well, I'm telling you how I saw it, you know? Right. You still think someone was there? Yeah. You I know someone was there. Who's using your phone at 6 a.m. to get on social media? Maybe me, I don't know. How could you use it at 6 if you were asleep till 8?
If they came there to murder people, like you said, then they would have had to get lucky enough that you had left a gun out for them. And then be able to know right where everybody's at and shoot everyone and get in a fight with the biggest person in the house and be able to escape. You cannot sit there and look me in the eye and say, yeah, well, that did happen. Are you ashamed? Is that why you don't want to tell us?
Oh, I don't want to tell you because I didn't do it.
Well, you're being charged with murder of your mom, your dad, and your sister. And you're going to go to jail.
These charges seemed to give Alex a reality check. He immediately went silent, and the gears could be seen turning in his head.
Get your ex out of this trouble you're in.
Good gig, Sal. Bye.
Bye. Just do run it.
Alex continued to shut down any of the detectives' claims with, "I didn't do it." So they rolled him out of the room and brought him straight to his cell.
The 20-year-old man in Cedar Rapids is accused of triple murder, allegedly killing his mother, his father, and sister.
And the man accused, Alexander Jackson, says a masked man did it. Now, Jackson appearing in court this morning. He's charged with 3 counts of murder.
Alex pled not guilty at his arraignment hearing, and that same day, a vigil for Jan, Melissa, and Sabrina was held at Kennedy High School, where Sabrina and Alex had recently graduated from.
Now, Mitch, as you can see, there are a few dozen people who have talked to organizers for this vigil began, and they still don't feel comfortable talking on camera. But there are pictures of Sabrina Jackson and people holding candles in this parking lot. Now, I watch people come up and say prayers for her and her family, including Alex.
Alex's trial began on January 13, 2023. Over a year and a half had passed since the incident, and Alex's appearance had completely changed. He was clean cut, sporting a goatee and a small man bun. But as far as the prosecution was concerned, this new Alex was still the same ruthless killer that was arrested on June 15, 2021.
Peter Jackson, I want you to think that he had perfect family life. The evidence is going to show you what the truth is about this family dynamic. And it's not what Jackson claimed to be.
They told the jury about Sabrina's journals, where she wrote extensively about the arguments between her and Alex. She would point out how aggressive Alex can be, and that she was always afraid to tell him about her personal life.
This was a triple homicide. They find no evidence of any sign of anyone else inside that home that morning. And at the conclusion of this trial, on co-counsel, Ms. Slaughter will summarize all this for you. And on behalf of the state, she will ask that you render verdicts of guilty, murder first degree, for each one of these family members.
At Harbor Freight, we're committed to ensuring our tools are expertly engineered and built to last. We rigorously test and refine our tools until we're absolutely certain they're every bit as good as other top-name brands. Look no further than Harbor Freight.
Caution, with the free night in Cayman, you may go off the deep end.
The defense believed that the detectives zeroed in on Alex from the beginning, writing off the possibility of a home invasion early into the investigation.
Having just seen his father lying in a pool of blood on the ground.
Testimony of Alex's band director from high school, Jared Wacker. He said that Alex was a top student in his class back in 2019, but was shocked to hear about Alex's change in grades during college.
Would you be surprised to find out that his college GPA was a 1.59?
Objection, Your Honor. That calls for hearsay and speculation.
Overruled, you can answer the question.
I would be.
Would you be surprised to find out that he was failing the majority of his classes?
Yes. Yes, I would be.
And would it be fair to say, Mr. Wacker, that a lot can change in 4 years?
Yes, I would agree with that.
I don't have any further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
After 6 days of testimony, it was time for the closing arguments. The prosecution started with a critical observation of Alex's behavior during the 911 call.
Never in that 911 call do you hear the defendant yell out to his sister, "Sabrina, I've been shot. Dad's been shot. Are you okay?" Nothing. And the reason the defendant isn't calling out to his sister is because he knows that she's dead. He doesn't call out to his mom. "Mom, I've been shot. Mom, are you okay? Mom, help me. Check on Dad." Because he knows his mother is also dead. This was not some random intruder that breaks in and executes a family that he doesn't know with a gun that he didn't bring with the hope to steal things that are never stolen. Where there's a struggle with a huge man and a tall man, a black man with green shoes wearing all black and a ski mask with gloves on.
The victim's loved ones outside of the court.
Looking for a new trial. His attorneys cite juror misconduct, saying a juror reportedly said that he heard others talking about the case. The defense also says the state failed to prove Jackson was guilty of first-degree murder. This includes premeditation and malice aforethought beyond a reasonable doubt.
But before a decision on this appeal could be made, his sentencing took place on March 7, 2023. In the state of Iowa, a first-degree murder conviction comes with a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole. Since there are 3 charges of first-degree murder, Alex will automatically receive 3 life sentences. It is up to the judge whether these sentences will run concurrently or consecutively. Before he makes that decision, the prosecution and the defense are given the opportunity to speak.
The nature and circumstances of each separate offense in this matter were abhorrent. The heinous, brutal nature of each of these homicides warrants the court imposing 3 consecutive life sentences. The impact that these deaths had on the family in this case and on the public, this set of murders shook this community to its core. If that type of crime does not warrant and scream a need for consecutive sentences, I don't know, Your Honor, if there's another type of crime that would.
Thank you, Ms. Slaughter. Mr. Johnson? I couldn't agree more with the state that this incident shook this community to its core. And I'm glad that she said that. And we'll be using that on appeal when we're arguing about change of venue motion. As it is Mr. Jackson's position that he didn't commit these crimes, I'm not going to argue with the prosecution about the nature and circumstances of the way these crimes were committed. Mr. Jackson to this day maintains his innocence. And again, that'll be something that'll be brought up on appeal. To run them consecutive or not is a gesture, Your Honor, and if you run them consecutive, all you're doing is ensuring that 2 of those sentences will never be served. So I guess you get to choose which sentence you're going to impose, and the other 2 sentences won't ever be served, and those 2 people, those 2 victims won't, I guess, get justice in the way that the state likes to think about those things. So that's all I have to say about it.
The defendant also has a right to address the judge before his sentence is mandated. So the judge asks Alex if there is anything he would like to say.
If you have anything you would like to say, sir, this is your opportunity. So, Mr. Jackson, is there anything you would like to say?
No, Your Honor. With nothing left to say, the judge made his decision.
The sentences shall be served consecutively with each other.
Following his sentencing, Alex's appeal was denied. He is currently serving his sentence at the state penitentiary in Fort Madison, Iowa.
Great tasting libations, cannabis, and electrolyte drink mix gives you advanced hydration. Fat.
This video was brought to you by Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Police just arrived at an airport parking lot to investigate reports of an abandoned truck. Initially, it seemed like just another routine call with nothing unusual. But that's when it hit them. Inside the truck lay 4 brutalized and dismembered bodies hidden inside boxes. What officers didn't know at the time is that 11 more bodies lay buried and hidden in remote areas of the state. An active, twisted serial killer was on the loose, and detectives were already months behind.
Remember the last time you saw him? A couple months ago.
We don't care about anything else other than finding Jeff. And Jeff, whoever did that is our focus.
I got everything together yesterday when he did that. You know what I mean? Like, I know he lost their 3, man. What he did.
Taking these other 11, did you take them all to the same place? If you ever came back out to New Mexico, you'd be willing to take this.
It
It started on a Sunday afternoon when police in Grants, New Mexico received a mysterious call. A landlord had just discovered something he described as disturbing while cleaning out an evicted tenant's home. Officers immediately headed to the address to investigate.
But this guy hasn't paid us since July, but with COVID going on, we couldn't evict him, so he's had nothing but problems with anyways, we finally got him to move out, so seeing him today, we haven't come by, we haven't met with him. When I came by, he says, I'm going to leave you a pile to throw. Well, we didn't know which pile, so we started to load it up. While we were moving things, and we found this puppy in a box underneath some of the kid stuff, you know. Okay. So we go to put the puppy in the bag because we were going to bury it, and then we see that they had tied a cord on its neck. Okay. Well, we've had, like I said, nothing but problems with these guys, so I at least want to put a report on file. I know we won't be able to say who did it and when, but that needs to be associated with him, you know, because we're going to take him to court for a lot of other things, and if I can just have that on file, it'll help. Okay.
It was clear the puppy had suffered a horrific death. Animal control arrived shortly afterwards and confirmed it had been deliberately tortured, noting a cord tied tightly around its neck. The cruelty of the scene was deeply unsettling, and the officer immediately recognized they were dealing with someone truly twisted.
Absolutely. That's just sad. Just sad right there. Just really got me. It's like that's not cool at all. No. Absolutely. Cruel, awful people. Yeah, we tried to get in as landlords. We tried to go into it. They went in and they painted everything their own colors, and they just brought everything.
Unfortunately for investigators, the puppy was just the first body. And in coming days, police would uncover more gruesome scenes, strange disappearances, and disturbing evidence pointing to something far more calculated than anyone expected.
Need your pool water tested? Only our BioGuard experts have the Alex system, the most innovative, comprehensive, and accurate water test available. Stop by your local BioGuard dealer for an Alex water test today.
That same day, Detective Robert Turney was assigned a missing persons case involving 19-year-old Matthew Miller. Matthew's grandmother had called 911 a couple of days earlier, worried because she hadn't seen or heard from him in nearly a week. It turned out police were already familiar with Matthew and knew he had previously struggled with substance abuse. So initially they assumed his disappearance was drug-related. Maybe he overdosed somewhere. But Matthew's family insisted something was different this time and urgently requested to speak with detectives. Trusting their instincts, Detective Turney decided to visit Matthew's grandmother, where he would discover some unsettling new possibilities.
So you guys can help me out by just calling around to hospitals, clinics, rehabilitation places, other county jails, and just see if he's there. So prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Okay. But I will tell you, I had more than enough to arrest Matthew several times, and he's not one of those people that I wanted to arrest. Matthew is not going to pull a gun on anybody, right, to get his drugs. Yeah. He's not that kind of person. Okay. And he probably has a little bit of a complex because he knows he's that kind of person. And so he's being real hesitant to reach out and tell you guys the actual truth about this person taking advantage of me. Yeah, no, you just forgive him. All you can do is tell him you love him and you forgive him and go from there.
After rehashing some information with Matthew's family, Detective Turney would go on to learn some critical details. Matthew's girlfriend told the family she saw him getting into a vehicle with several other people, including a blonde woman named Jennifer Lannon, someone Matthew had recently been spending time with. He also learned that Matthew often spent time with a close friend named Justin Mata and his girlfriend, Leonie Calzada. All three were known to use drugs together. Acting quickly on these promising new leads, police began searching locations Matthew was known to frequent. And soon enough, they located Matthew's Chevy Colorado truck parked and seemingly abandoned within a few blocks away from Leonie and Justin's residence. The truck was dirty, locked, and appeared to have been parked there for several days. Inside, detectives found clothing and personal belongings, as well as several unsettling items including a pair of rubber gloves and a shovel lying in the truck's bed. They also found multiple cell phones that were damaged in the front and back seats. It seemed clear Matthew hadn't intended to leave the truck there, and detectives sensed something wasn't right. Immediately, investigators canvassed the area and found surveillance cameras nearby, one of which captured Matthew's truck arriving at Leonie and Justin's address.
Perfect passing shot perfection.
3 days before
Side out here for the player.
With these new alarming discoveries, Detective Turney knew the next logical step was to urgently speak with Matthew's friends, Justin Mata and Leonie Calzada, hoping they could shed some light on the situation. However, when
The ball placement is just too good. When you put the ball in the corner like that, good things usually happen. Oh, get the popcorn out. The Flying Frenchman just showing off on that finish.
Jay DeVilliers takes over.
The two-handed backhand on display right there. Perfect placement right on the line.
1-0.
This is Leonie
The player takes over the serve.
of Matthew's close friend, Justin Mata, and someone detectives suspected might know exactly what happened to Matthew.
Just no panic in that volley. So solid. Making the opponent have to hit a miracle shot on the run.
Jay DeVilliers now with the side out. Jay DeVilliers drives it home.
Clean winner that time on the passing shot.
There's a good-looking attack. Cross-court finish. The player to serve.
Ooh, and does a little drop volley there. Wasn't that pretty?
Jay DeVilliers takes over.
Great read and a great finish on the volley.
What I would like to do is look around your house for the accountability of Matthew Miller and Council, but everything other than that.
According to Leonie,
oh, beautiful.
And you don't need to be special
she
with the
hadn't
final
seen
winner.
him since
Just lay
January
it over
17th,
there.
nearly 2 weeks before Matthew was even reported missing.
Just
But
asleep at the
investigators
wheel
knew
that
something
time. The
wasn't
serve
adding up
comes in
when
and you don't
Leonie
even try
insisted
to
she hadn't
return
seen
it?
Matthew in nearly a year. Surveillance footage clearly showed Matthew's truck
looked like an
outside
ace
the
in the
residence
scene.
just
It's
days
tough to
before he
give up an easy
disappeared.
point
With
like
their
that.
suspicion mounting, detectives decided to search Leonie's home, hoping to uncover whether she might be hiding something. Or someone.
Did you notice anything strange that happened around here? Did you notice anything different around here? Like something was any kind of blood? Needles? Needles or pills or anything like that?
Great job with the cross-court attack.
It's been a pretty lopsided game so far, Dave.
Yeah, your opponent is on fire, and you're just left looking for answers. We've seen how quick, and just a wicked French crepe there from Jay DeVilliers. That was nice and tasty.
Serve returns to the paddle of Jay DeVilliers.
There's a ferocious finish.
The player takes over the serve.
It's the largest volume GMC and largest volume General Motors truck dealer in America. Laura Auto Group has a massive inventory of lifted vehicles. With shipping.
Whenever we see multiple transitions from defense to offense, it's pickleball at the highest level.
Jay DeVilliers now with the side out.
Build your customized lifted truck dealer.
Oh, get the popcorn out. The Flying Frenchman just showing off on that finish. Great finish on the volley.
The player to serve.
Despite their best efforts,
that was huge. So much power on that forehand.
Detective Turney couldn't shake the feeling that something was overlooked, so he returned to speak briefly with Leone, unaware she dropped a crucial clue.
There's a beautiful volley into the open court.
7-2. Jay DeVilliers takes over.
Leone revealed that Justin had recently taken off with another woman named Jennifer.
Cross-court winner. Nothing you can do with that.
Side out here for the player.
With this new detail, Detective Turney now found himself investigating the disappearances of 3 different people. Matthew Miller, Justin Mata, and now, potentially, Jennifer.
Made the passing shot look easy.
Oh my goodness. Just such a high level of pickleball right there.
She had recently been reported missing by her ex-husband, Sean Lane.
Short returns are where points go to die. Just leaves too many options on the attack.
Officers had responded to a disturbing call at 817 Kingman Avenue. The same property where the remains of a puppy had been.
That ball was.
The tenants evicted from that very house, Sean and Jennifer Lano. Finally, investigators were starting to connect the dots. 3 people, all closely linked through drugs and personal relationships, had vanished within days of each other.
That's a ferocious finish.
7-6.
Hoping a neighbor might have seen something suspicious or could offer the lead they desperately needed. That's when they found a neighbor whose security camera was pointed directly at Sean and Jennifer's old residence.
Nice drop volley right there.
Bring some much-needed clarity to their case. Without this
Jay
neighbor's
DeVilliers
camera,
takes
detectives
over.
might have hit another frustrating dead end. And it shows just how important reliable security can be. Because when something happens, every second matters. That's why I partnered with Simply Safe Home Security to provide you with a trusted way to secure
That shot right there, that was insane, Dave.
Absolute filth, Michelle. Unbelievable. The drop volley is such a difficult shot.
8-6.
Brand new Active Guard outdoor protection means those pros can see a suspicious person in my driveway and
that drop volley is sick.
9-6.
All the local systems wait until the door is kicked in. Active Guard tells the intruder, hands up, police are on the way, while they're still outside. The tech is smart enough to tell friends from foes, so your partner or the dog walker won't trigger a 3 a.m. panic. But I find myself
Stepped in and made that volley look easy. The player takes over the serve.
At my door. It even allows me to communicate with anyone at my door through its built-in speakers, saving me from porch pirates and keeping my packages safe. From the app, you can arm or disarm, lock the front door, check every camera, and see that my studio is safe.
Huge overhead right there.
9-7.
$1 a day, and there's a 60-day money-back guarantee. And today, Simply Safe has a deal just for the Dr. Insanity crew. Save 50%.
Oh, the return's gotta be better than that. It's just sitting there begging to be smoked.
Free. Visit simplysafe.com/insanity to customize yours. There's no
Now that's a sharp volley. Too tough to handle that one.
9-8. Jay DeVilliers now with the side out.
Drop volley.
Whoa,
What
son of a
beauty.
bitch.
Gorgeous. 10-8.
Is it closing time? One last call right here.
Left a mark on that. The player takes over the serve. Jay DeVilliers drives it home. Jay DeVilliers takes over. Smacks that one.
That was hit with bad intentions. My goodness.
Side out here for the player. Wow, can't defend that. 10-9.
26th, Matthew is seen entering Sean's home. The investigators never see him leave.
What do you even do with that passing shot, Dave?
You have nothing to do except clap your paddle. Great location and a great result. What a battle we've got going on here.
2 days later, on January
Now, there's a fantastic passing shot.
11-10.
One more. And driving away. This CCTV footage marked a critical turning point.
The Flying Frenchman just showing off on that finish.
Jay DeVilliers now with the side out.
Residence. With this significant new lead, the next step was clear. Detective Turney needed to speak directly to Sean. Only his account could clarify
what a big finish.
11-10.
The missing trail.
The player to serve.
Next morning, Detective Turney reached out to Sean and agreed to sit down for a formal interview. Whatever Sean said next had the potential to
That's game.
What we just witnessed is why you never give up in pickleball. Get the ball back. You've always got a chance. What a comeback.
With that win, they've advanced to the finals. That's coming up next.
Finals, man. Fourth and third. Horses. Truck ever parked at your house? More than like a day, I went out and have you ever driven this truck? I've driven this truck. When was the last time you drove this truck? A couple weeks ago. So, but again, when did you find out that they split and took off to Arizona and ran away together? It was 7 weeks ago. Came back. Did you have anything to do with Jennifer disappearing, Samantha disappearing? I don't think nothing, but you think something about that could do Matthew and Jennifer? I think Jennifer drove the church used to be. She came back and on Bill, I can imagine like she got those. No, I just get a really bad feeling about all this. You don't? I do. You don't seem. I've been visiting this several times. Has she ever done this before? Yeah.
During the interview, Detective Turney notices something strange. Sean remains unnervingly calm, especially considering his ex-wife and the mother of his 3 young children has just vanished. Turney begins to question whether Sean is simply a bystander caught up in a tragic situation, or if he knows more than he's letting on. The next day, Detective Turney would get his answer, as police received an unexpected call from a man named Josh Hall. Josh was an acquaintance of Matthew Miller and claimed he'd recently witnessed something that deeply concerned him, directly related to the strange disappearances. Investigators quickly arranged for a meeting with Josh, hoping his account would finally provide the breakthrough they were looking for.
What's going on with Matthew, man? That's my chick's cousin. Check this out, man. Check this out. Follow me. Check this out, man. Yesterday, right? Was that Kelly's? Right, Sean talking to you. I guess he had to go talk to you or something. Talk to us. He goes to Kelly's like a lodge, smashed my back, and he's healing. Guard, got his wife's IDs. Don't spend there. His stashes in there. Says he had to talk to a cop. I was there. Man. Sean killed all 3 of them, man. I'm telling you, he murked all 3 of them people, man. He's putting it off on Martha that he ran off and everything. Why him? Yes, I don't know, man. Kelly's like my sister. I know all of it, you know. Killed all 3 of them. I know he did, man. I know he did. He did, man. I'm telling you. Come on, they find a truck right by his house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're starting a trip, bro. You know what I mean? Like, no. Martha was, she was shit. Martha was there. He's a smart word. This kid, I don't know how long they've been missing for. He just barely reported his wife missing. His wife's been missing since like the 23rd. Since last month, you know what I mean? She's been missing the same time I've been missing. And after he left and everything, I was going to talk to you. Kelly went in there and opened her strap, her IDs, some personal stickers, clothes, and I don't know what she did with it. She leaked out. I had her with me the whole time. She was drinking her. And then Danny almost took up with it. He was there too. He almost took the gun. What people was Danny walking in. That he was walking. I'm telling him, so to be honest, that's how I tied everything together yesterday when he did it. You know what I mean? Like, I know we lost the three, man.
Josh claims that Sean arrived at the residence of a woman named Kelly DeSoto, carrying a bag he carefully hid in the ceiling of her home before leaving to speak with detectives at the police station. After Sean left, Kelly discovered the hidden bag, removed a gun from inside, and handed it off to a man named Danny Lemos, locally known as Dog, who quickly took the weapon and left on foot. When Sean returned and realized the bag was missing, he became visibly agitated, smashing his phone on the ground before storming out. These troubling claims raised immediate suspicion around everyone involved, including two new persons of interest, Kelly DeSoto and Daniel Lemos, both closely associated with Sean and Jennifer based on Josh's statement. Danny Lemos was nowhere to be found at the time, so Detective Turney knew he urgently needed to verify Josh's account by speaking directly with Kelly, and more importantly, find out if she was hiding anything that could help connect the dots in this increasingly tangled case.
Electrified. Ion. Hungo tire.
When investigators first arrived at Kelly's house, she agreed to meet them at the station for an interview, but refused their offer of a ride, saying her boss would bring her in about 30 minutes. However, when the time came, Kelly never showed up at the police station. It was a major red flag, and it made investigators even more suspicious of her. 2 hours later, Detective Turney returned to her house, suspecting that Kelly might be stalling for time or trying to cover something up.
Stop. Robert, Ben, the detectives. Ready?
I talked to my lawyer.
You don't have to.
What is it about?
Dr. Bruce's parents, so Ashley Miller and Josh. Sean Lyman.
Sean is not missing.
I know.
This time, Kelly's behavior was noticeably different. She appeared distraught, reluctant to cooperate, and quick to mention her lawyer. Detective Turney felt certain that she was withholding crucial information and decided to press harder.
Was Sean here yesterday? How many times?
He came inside. He told me that he had to go down for Jennifer missing.
Did Sean find anything in the house that was loaded taking?
No.
Did he destroy his phone?
Yeah, right here at the back. He destroyed his phone.
You bring a bag inside that had a gun.
Nothing.
You have Jennifer's identification cards.
Nothing.
Book in it.
Nothing.
Did Daniel almost take the gun later?
No.
Do you think he did something to Jennifer in that room?
He doesn't seem like that type of person.
I think you're lying to me about the bag and the gun and Jennifer's ID.
I'm not. I don't know anything about. Like he asked me. He said, "Where's Where's the method? Yes, I didn't see anything.
Oh, you're forgetting what I already posted.
I know.
I thought I had some stuff in your shed.
Yeah, did you when he was murdered? All of it. That's just
Happened yesterday?
no. I don't think so.
You got through it?
No.
After some more pressure, Kelly admitted she had several suspicious bags in her shed, supposedly belonging to Sean. Curious about the contents of the bags, detectives quickly followed Kelly to take a closer look.
Yeah. I think that box says you know I think I'm sure it's not. And that pink can is not here. That's it. That. What is it on my paper?
Jackson? You ready? She let us search that place and everything. And outside.
Despite their best efforts, detectives found no clear signs of blood or evidence linking back to the missing people. It was a frustrating dead end, and the chances of finding them seemed increasingly slim.
At CAT, we know small hearts make a big impact. Visit hearts.cat.com and buy online, operate anywhere. Visit us online at hearts.cat.com. Splitting pain keeping you up at night? Try new Betty's Eddies Away PM Cannabis Fruit Juice. Handcrafted with real fruit and vegetables, full-spectrum cannabis, and natural ingredients that may help ease inflammation and pain and help you sleep. Try new Betty's Eddies Away PM Cannabis Fruit Juice and sleep better with Betty's. Click the Learn More button to find Betty's Eddies at a dispensary near you.
At this stage, investigators had narrowed down their focus to several individuals close to the missing trio, each with conflicting stories and questionable behavior that kept detectives on edge. But without hard evidence, options were increasingly running out. Desperate for a breakthrough, Detective Turney secured a search warrant for Sean and Jennifer's former home at 817 Kingman Avenue. Unsure exactly what or who they might encounter, officers cautiously approached the property, prepared for any potential threat. Yet again, investigators were too late. The house had already undergone extensive renovations, carpets removed, drywall stripped, any potential evidence completely erased. Unbeknownst to investigators at the time, the critical evidence they desperately needed was sitting in an abandoned truck, miles away, just waiting to be discovered. For now, though, every possible lead was exhausted, and Detective Turney knew it was time for a more direct approach. So he called Sean once more, determined to extract something, anything, that could finally lead investigators to the missing trio.
Hey, is it Sean?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Sean, this is Detective Turney. How are you doing?
Good, how are you doing today?
Good, man. I've been trying to get a hold of you on their number, and it's not working. So, you know anything new?
No, not heard anything.
Okay. Are you still around town?
No, man, not
No, we've made some progress here and there. I've got a bunch of pictures of different vehicles. I'd like you to take a look at, see if you could help me identify them.
If I'm alright, I wanted to come in and stuff I gotta return to the school.
Okay. All right, just make sure the kids are taken care of, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks.
Sean sounded cooperative and willing to help, promising Detective Turney he would come in for questioning. Yet, Sean never showed up. The next day, Turney even offered to personally pick Sean up and bring him to the station, but once again, Sean failed to appear. At this point, Turney felt certain Sean was deliberately stalling and knew they couldn't afford to waste any more time. He's done playing cat and mouse. With the CCTV footage and witness statements pointing directly at Sean and Danny as crucial figures, Detective Turney knew he needed to bring them in for questioning. So investigators dug deeper into both men's backgrounds. And that's when they hit the jackpot. Sean had an outstanding warrant for missing a court appearance related to a 2020 assault and battery charge. It was the break they needed. On February 25th, officers located Sean in Albuquerque and arrested him without incident, transporting him directly to the Grants Police Department for questioning. Detective Turney's goals for the interview were simple: determine exactly what Sean knew about the missing trio and find out where Danny Lemos had vanished after taking the alleged gun.
Let's go back to Matthew's truck. Okay, so it starts to back in there, and you're the last one who drove it, right? So let's go backward from when you parked it. Where did you go with it that day? Do you remember specifically?
The only place they ever traveled. I went to McDonald's. I thought that was the last day we ever used it. And I got Smith's, we got water, food, Walmart, that's it. That's your tracker on the truck. My phone was always on me. On the line. I'm not going in the mountains. I have children. I don't have any bodies. Like, I was a medic in the Army. Like, I have 3 kids.
I don't think you're capable of doing something like this. I think you're very capable of defending yourself, though. An accident happens.
If it was nice, I would be like, that's self-defense. Because self-defense is peaceful, but literally, no. Biggest fear in my house, why did just stay in the house, was how to, like, dog. Like, that guy scares my own about it.
Yeah.
So,
who told you to park it there? Justin?
Justin was there at the house. I'm talking with, like, they're all chewing on the soup.
Who's all there?
Jennifer, Justin, and Matthew. And he gets a boatload of pills from him. And they're like, we're going to go score. I mean, they ain't nobody, nothing.
So you take the truck to the kids.
No, they leave the truck. And look, I'm like, well, I need to go. Like, can I get some fucking groceries or some shit? And literally, I'm like, where do we do with the truck? He's like, leave it. I'm like, yeah, leave them. We should hear them. No. I was like, yeah, I can park. It's fine. No, I need to go to the dumpsters. I need to go $1 water.
So they told you in the house, when you're done with it, to park at the Lubbock Apartments.
Matthew wanted to park it down the street. He said, no, my buddy's over there near the apartments. Just leave it there.
As the interview continued, Sean seemed to have an answer for everything, including the CCTV footage, claiming he only moved the truck at Matthew and Justin's request. He also appeared to casually downplay the entire incident, insisting the trio's disappearances were simply part of a drug-related business venture, nothing criminal. But Detective Turney wasn't buying it. He knew Sean's explanation didn't match witness statements, and his earlier actions were too suspicious to ignore. But without solid proof, Turney couldn't directly refute Sean's story. So, to move forward, Detective Turney changed tactics. He decided to deliberately introduce Danny Lemos into the conversation, offering Sean an easy scapegoat. If Sean took the bait, Turney might finally uncover what Sean was hiding, or at least gain insight into what really happened to the missing trio.
I have no idea. I literally spent most of my time with the kids. If I had to guess who would kill him, it would be the guys that, if I don't dispose of bodies, I'm going to put it in my pig and show me the pig when that comes up in his house. I mean, it's just for Matthew. I don't know much about it. Talk to dog. If someone's going to move a body, put it somewhere, I guess the creepy dude that talks about pigs are everything but that. Like, who would know that? Like, this dude's, I'm scared to go with him, so. My kids scared of dog. I'm scared of them. I'm afraid of it. I'm ashamed of it. But we hid in the house. We didn't go anywhere. I definitely didn't leave my kids for $5.
Just as planned, the moment Danny Lemos' name came up, Sean seized the opportunity and implicated him, pointing to Danny's violent nature and even suggesting his ability to dispose of bodies using pigs. Beyond those accusations, however, Sean stuck to his story for the rest of the interview, denying any involvement in the disappearance. Without solid proof against him, detectives had no choice but to end their questioning. Still, Sean wasn't completely free. His outstanding warrant for failure to appear in court meant he'd spend the next 7 days in custody, and officers immediately transported him to the local jail. Investigators spent the following week interviewing acquaintances, re-examining evidence, and piecing together scattered leads. During their interview, one detail caught Detective Turney's attention: the mysterious red Ford truck that was spotted parked outside Sean's residence, later leaving with unknown contents loaded in the back. Investigators had not yet located this truck, and Turney strongly suspected it might hold something crucial to their case. For now, though, 3 people remained missing, and police narrowed their focus to 2 prime suspects: Sean Lannon, who was recorded on surveillance driving Matthew's truck and potentially connected to the missing red truck, and Danny Lemos, who allegedly received a handgun connected to Sean before disappearing himself. With each passing day, Turney grew more convinced that the missing trio had been murdered, and that their 2 prime suspects likely held the answers. But the window to find something conclusive was quickly closing, because on March 3rd, Sean completed his short jail sentence and was released back onto the streets, significantly raising the stakes. Now facing the possibility of losing another prime suspect, Detective Turney knew he had to act fast. All he needed was just one single lead, some hint of where the bodies might be hidden. On March 5th, officers received a call from the security at Albuquerque's Sunport Airport about an abandoned red Ford Ranger, eerily similar to the one from surveillance footage gathered during the investigation. What officers found inside would confirm the gruesome truth they'd been searching for.
Kind of smells, but not to like decompose it or anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. We called it in by 1:30, but they said they didn't want to send anybody out here.
There's a pretty foul smell coming from the vehicle.
Yeah.
Every so often, I'm not noticed.
Yeah, I can't really tell what it was. Every time I couldn't really think it smelled like decomp body or something like that, but I don't know. Yeah, I can smell something, but I can't really tell what it was. Also smelled like dirty, like yellow, but yeah, I don't know. So we'll check the bin and all that good stuff, so.
In the back of the truck were several sealed storage bins, emitting an unmistakable smell of decay. And inside were the dismembered bodies of Jennifer Lannon, Matthew Miller, and Justin Mata. Jennifer had been shot at close range in the head. Justin had also suffered a gunshot wound to the head, along with severe blunt force injuries. And Matthew's body showed clear signs of massive head trauma, evidence he'd also been beaten to death. But the horrors didn't end there. Hidden beneath a tarp in the passenger seat was yet another body. Randall Apostolon, the truck's owner. His body showed signs of severe blunt force trauma, and a bloodied hammer found nearby was clearly the weapon used to kill him. Investigators found more disturbing evidence inside the truck. Multiple serrated knives, stained with dried blood, a handsaw, and several pairs of industrial gloves, all clearly pointing to a calculated, cold-blooded murder. It was still unclear to investigators why Randall had been murdered or how his death was connected to the other 3, but they wouldn't have to wait long to find out. Detectives urgently turned to the Albuquerque airport's surveillance cameras, knowing the truck hadn't driven itself there. And it didn't take long before they spotted exactly who they were looking for.
Not everyone's life runs in straight lines. At Sophia, we get
All right.
our
Made it to the
flexible,
finals.
affordable, self-paced college college-level courses help thousands of people just like you complete their degrees for only $99.
On March 3rd, 2021, just 2 days before the gruesome discovery, the airport's cameras captured Sean Lannon driving the truck into the airport parking lot, exiting the vehicle, and leaving behind the bodies of his 4 victims. Finally, detectives found their killer. It was time to track Sean down and bring him in. On the same day the bodies were discovered, police urgently scrambled to track down Sean Lannon, but it was already too late. Sean had slipped out of Albuquerque and vanished. Immediately, the U.S. Marshals issued a nationwide alert believing Sean posed an active threat and was possibly on a violent crime spree. Authorities across multiple states joined the manhunt to track him down before anyone else was harmed. Then, on March 9th, Detective Turney received a disturbing call. U.S. Marshals informed him that Sean Lannon was now wanted in connection to another murder, this one committed just a day earlier in New Jersey. Authorities had linked Sean to the murder of Michael Debkowski through witness statements and surveillance footage that placed him directly at the scene. A quick background check also revealed the victim wasn't a random target. Debkowski was someone Sean had personally known for many years. It was an alarming detail that made it clear Sean's violent spree was far from over. Now, with 5 bodies discovered and a serial killer on the loose, police knew anyone in Sean Lannon's circle could be next, and they had to act fast. Federal authorities urgently tracked Sean's movements, closely monitoring surveillance footage and cell phone data. And finally, on the morning of March 10th, U.S. Marshals pinpointed Sean's location in St. Louis, Missouri, and they quickly moved in and captured him without incident. Sean Lannon was immediately extradited back to New Jersey, finally putting an end to his killing spree. By now, the evidence against Sean Lannon was overwhelming. Investigators had more than enough to charge him, but there were still critical questions that only Sean could answer. They still needed to understand exactly why he committed these horrific murders and determine whether he acted alone or if others helped him carry out and conceal evidence. When Detective Turney sat down face-to-face with Sean, he expected more lies and deception, but surprisingly, Sean didn't resist or deny anything. Instead, he resigned to its fate, openly admitting he was tired of running and knew his capture was inevitable. In his own words, he simply wanted it to be over. So, with nothing left to hide, Sean would give detectives exactly what they hoped for: a chilling, detailed account of the murders and the twisted reasons behind each one.
Jen was already out with was enough to take her life. So she wanted to make sure she wanted to, for sure. She really should breathe it. She was gonna OD. But I never psyched myself out repeating that. But an emotionally charged statement of you killed the Garrison baby. So I had nothing ready to do. I thought pistol on her head and pulled the trigger. It's the level. A second later, I was supposed to have the bed too. I put that pistol on my mouth. Making no look. This is past with teeth. I said, try it out. I was like, I don't know. Full shirt, kids out of the city, both of our hands went up. And we lost lots of rounds out again. I didn't trust her. Closed the bedroom door, got the kids normal. Set them up the baby out of the room. They have a vehicle. And John's boyfriend joined the truck on the car end. So I pretty much stood her and said, yeah. Just storage bed. Sheets that were around half the bed in the bed, on the box. A day later, I tried to dismember their containers. It didn't work. It's awful and traumatic. Just thinking about it. It's not much. I knew I was living on borrowed time at that point, so I needed to get my kids summer stage to cope. So I continued to pack everything up. All still made just a month. Be responsible for the joking and giving that to my kids. 7 days a week. I think that was in the laundry room. Can I go check your garage? So I killed him. Who I killed him? He offered up a trade. His phone had pictures of Shawn Michael standing there naked in my living room. I don't know what, like the William or Matthew. No, whatever. My son showed me. I was like, who sent you this picture? He's like, he's got him in the tree. And he's like, I took the picture. I was like, oh, alright, so that picture. He just advanced that in the picture. So, that's the biggest. He was right here with the best work time fighter. He wanted to know if he could get a shot before it. Just like, so I said, well, if you find any in the vent, so I got the biggest stuff you down in the vent. I can see coming, but so I shot him in the back head. That's what the guys from him. Very tall dude. I just never have some point. Maybe turn later. Discuss the ring. They had to work up the nerves to move the bodies. There's so much blood. That's why I had that cold floor bladder. I saw a room that was the flooring that was pulled up in the kid's bedroom. And my landlord never traced the water leak. The carpet got molded. I was gonna say, the carpet was outside the house. So that was the padding, I think. So there's some other reason. Still there, but yeah. It took 2 hours, quiet enough. The ability to near Justin.
When you got Justin over there, was this shortly after? Like, how long between the time that you Jennifer, that you shoot Justin?
It was at least a week. So,
How did you get him to Florida?
I was baiting this if I was Jennifer on the phone.
Yeah. So you thought he was to be Jennifer?
Yeah. I also had pictures of Daniel Lemos and my son. Never got my hands on Daniel Lemos. I fully decided. So I sent back to New Mexico for her yesterday.
Yeah.
If I did, it'd be in the box. So then I have the 3 of them. Probably that kid comes over, William or Matthew. Comes over with Leslie, his girlfriend. They're about like 12 years old. I should put her name on there. So he's like, they're looking for money for anything. I give you 35. Or like, just take like $40. It's like, all I need is later every week, give me a ride to get some water. And I've been less strict than I want. So, one of those times he came back, he didn't have Leslie. And that's when I shot him in the back. And I had one in his vehicles, now Greggy. Except when he brought me the box, I put him in the back. Couldn't have it, not the fixed fault, it's not what he did. That vehicle, so he should take the truck back, so I found someone else for the box today, storage containers. I was gonna help him for $150. He won us $300 once we got to his place. Wait, on another $300. All of the boxes. So I didn't have $300. So I said, well, I'm gonna drop you back off. So I left. Came back to back to the Pearl. The box was still back. Gold end right there. We got the fight. I killed him in the front seat. Get a driver's seat.
Throughout his confession, Shawn remained eerily composed, showing almost no emotions. Even more chilling is the fact that just hours after dismembering the bodies and brutally killing Randall, Shawn was picked up by police on an unrelated warrant and sat across from Detective Turney, coldly denying any involvement, while a truck full of bodies was parked just a few blocks away.
Tuesday, I took the grabbed the truck. And went to do it. I don't know anybody. What do you do with the bodies? Doesn't try to run into stuff when you're going to get caught. So the kids back home. Took them to the airport the day before. I positioned them. Just Everything was the same. Just pretty debatable. That's obvious. And then took I believe it was Uber to help right to the pro. Next day before, I'm waiting outside. Yeah. So if I didn't find the bodies, at the airport in the box. And last on my list was the man that gave me his job, my big brother. Big brother's big sisters or whatever. They got two. Wanted the pictures back. He didn't want to give me the pictures, so I started beating him. Didn't give me the pictures. It looks like. So, I did find time to make it back to finish taking the labels.
The last victim in Sean's killing spree was his former mentor, Michael Debkowski, a man Sean accused of him during childhood and believed still had photographs of that. When Debkowski refused to hand over those photographs, Sean killed him without hesitation. But just as detectives thought they heard everything from Sean, he would make one final, shocking statement. There were even more bodies waiting to be found.
And so the other 11, you said started about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago? And you disarmed them from guns, and you said knives?
Yeah, that's a bunch. And that comes like a pickaxe when it's not a pick. It's swung like a pickaxe.
Like if you had to think back, how many out of the 11 were shot and how many were stabbed? Like if you can elaborate on any of that.
2 were shot.
2. And then how many were stabbed?
What's the rest of them about?
The rest of them. So 9.
According to Sean, he killed at least 11 additional people, mostly drug dealers tied to Jennifer, and hidden their bodies in remote areas of Malpais National Park. Detectives approached these claims cautiously, knowing Sean was a skilled manipulator who mixed truths with calculated lies. Perhaps this was his last attempt to influence the outcome of his trial later on. But despite extensive searches, no additional bodies were ever discovered, and Sean's claims remained unverified. Detectives also investigated one of the key persons of interest directly implicated by Sean himself, Danny Lemos. He was located in Albuquerque and arrested by U.S. Marshals on March 25, 2021. Danny agreed to speak with Detective Turney, firmly denying any involvement and expressing shock that Sean was even capable of these horrific crimes. He admitted taking the handgun Sean had hidden at Kelly's house, but claimed he had no idea it was tied to a murder and had quickly sold it afterwards. After exhaustive interviews and reviewing all available evidence, detectives eventually cleared Danny, along with all other potential suspects, ultimately concluding Sean acted entirely alone. In October 2022, Sean pleaded guilty to the first-degree murder of Michael Debkowski in New Jersey. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison. And in May 2024, he pleaded guilty to killing Jennifer Lannon, Justin Mata, Matthew Miller, and Randall Apostolone, receiving 4 consecutive 15-year sentences. As part of his plea agreement, Sean will serve his sentence in New Jersey first, then return to New Mexico to serve an additional 60 years behind bars.
Have you heard about Ryoko Pro? This is the cutting-edge portable Wi-Fi hotspot that people wish they found out about sooner. With this pocket Wi-Fi, you can...
Why are you assaulting me? I'm being assaulted. Assault! 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 Rape! 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 Sheriff's office! He's down! Where are the chaps? Where are the chaps?
Until this vicious attack, the officers had no idea that the psychopath had lured them into his house of horrors.
Doc, can you hear me? Doc, can you hear me? Hey, I'm going. Cover me, on fire. Cover me. Go, one down.
This individual fired so many rounds so rapidly at us.
The cops were left with no way to escape, but the terror had just begun.
300 out. We've got 3 officers hit. 1 down. 2 injured minors. Person was shot with a gun inside the park.
On December 31st, 2017, at 5:15 a.m., Douglas County, Colorado police received a disturbing 911 call from 37-year-old Matthew Edward Reel, starting what would become one of the most terrifying cases of their lives.
911, seatbelt of your emergency.
I need to file a restraining order, emergency restraining order against my domestic partner.
Has this been physical?
Okay, but yes.
All right, you sure?
I'll sign that. Okay. He came at me, and the deputies were here, and I'm really worried. They didn't even arrest them, and he's pushing the hands before, and I told them.
Well, my deputies are headed your way right now to talk to you about getting an emergency restraining order.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
As deputies Davis and Zach Parrish arrived at the scene, unaware of the horror they were walking into, something strange immediately caught their attention.
Hanging out a bedroom window was a blanket, not alive. And also we noticed there were a lot of items that had been thrown off of the balcony.
This scene quickly put them on high alert, and with Deputy Michael Doyle, they moved straight toward the apartment.
Hey, Matt, it's Zach. Matt, it's Zach. It's Zach. I'm at the sheriff's office right here, man. And? Yes, we can talk out here. There you go. Are you okay? Yeah, well, I want to find the next regular again. Okay.
As the door opened, Matthew was already recording them, and without much warning, things quickly turned into a confrontation.
I just feel like you're really upset. I'm not
Well, I
sure.
am, because I was assaulted and you didn't help me.
Who assaulted you? Do you want me to give you a number you can call for the Douglas County Civil Division?
I called him already, and I said I wanted to file a domestic restraining order immediately.
Well,
Did you not get that message?
Just. We're going to take him. We're going to take him.
Sensing the danger, the deputies backed away from the apartment and contacted Matthew's roommate at work, asking him to bring the keys.
Welcome, everybody. This is professional pickleball, and there's nothing else like it. I'm Michelle McMahon here with Dave Flynn.
Ben Johns is set and ready to go. Let's play pickleball.
What do you even do with that passing shot, Dave?
You have nothing to do except clap your paddle. Great location and a great result.
1-0. That shot right there was insane.
Unbelievable. The drop volley is such a difficult shot.
2-0.
Fantastic finish that time.
Side out here for the player.
Great finish on the volley.
2-1. Made the passing shot look easy.
Oh my goodness. Just such a high level of pickleball right there.
2-1. Ben Johns takes over the serve.
Just no panic in that volley. So solid. Making the opponent have to hit a miracle shot on the run.
That volley was so crisp. Wow, that's a forehand.
There was fire coming from that shot right there. My goodness.
The player to serve. How about that cross-court winner?
Yes, great deception and great ball placement. Got the job done there. Now there's some power on display.
Just long on that one.
Yeah, tried to do a little too much with that shot.
Ben Johns back to serve.
There's a beautiful volley into the open court.
5-3. Ben Johns, he's just too good.
Just ridiculous filth on that one. Great job getting the ball into the perfect location.
The player takes over the serve.
Drop volley, a beauty.
Gorgeous. Ben Johns will serve.
All over that one, and this is Ben Johns at his finest.
7-3. That ball was put away with authority. The player takes over the serve. That ball is wide. Ben Johns takes over the serve.
That's a ferocious finish.
Side out here for the player. Ben Johns cleans it up. Ben Johns back to serve.
He's caught right now and he's medical. We get our guys out of there. All right.
That was definitely struck with authority.
7-3. The player to serve.
Oh my goodness, the GOAT, Ben Johns.
Ben Johns here with a side out. Getting it done that time with a passing shot. 7-3. The player takes over the serve.
That is vintage Ben Johns on display right there.
7-3. Ben Johns back to serve. That's fantastic, Dave.
I'm sure that there are people all over the country practicing those drop volleys right now.
8-3.
Perfect passing shot perfection.
8-3. Side out here for the player.
Huge overhead. A phenomenal passing shot for the winner.
8-5. Ben Johns, the methodical player that he is, puts that ball in a perfect spot that time. Ben Johns takes over the serve. Ben Johns, he's just too good.
Just ridiculous filth on that one. For those new to pickleball, you cannot volley that ball out of the air until it has bounced at least once on both sides. So that's a foul.
We are at game point. Passing shot and a beauty. The player to serve. Ben Johns finishes business. Ben Johns here with a side out. That does it. They're up 1-0. Game 2 coming up. Nice work at the kitchen. Great read.
All over that one with the volley winner.
I didn't want to turn and look because if Matthew were to come out of the front of the apartment, I don't want to be vulnerable behind me. Okay.
I'm on the final, man. I'm gonna lose this shit. And all they're doing is repeating this guy's name. Son of a bitch.
Podcast from that time was a male-dominated field.
We're trying to make women feel respected and heard. I'm just getting started.
Ben Johns will serve. Are you kidding me? That was insane.
Drop volley. Oh, my goodness. Look at this drop volley. Phil. That's what it takes to win a rally.
Your mom will like the way he smells too. If you don't have a mom in your life, you don't even love your dad.
What a big finish.
3-0. The player takes over the serve.
That's why you're going to see like stuffed animals on that chair.
Great read and a great finish on the volley.
3-0. Ben Johns back to serve.
What an amazing Father's Day. Yeah, shout out to my dad. We got off from, you know. My dad
Left a mark on that ball. 3-0. Side out here for the player.
And that when he pushes off my YouTube pro. And they love to give me shit about it too. And they go, your daddy's that. I'm like, you're just mad because your dad won't find you out.
Huge overhead right there.
Good communication is more important than good stuff. I'm about 6 years without getting laid, so...
Look at this drop volley. That is Phil.
Ben Johns will serve.
All over that one, and this is Ben Johns at his finest.
4-1.
Too much Johns on that one.
That's why he's the best player in the world, Dave. Ben Johns there to finish it off. Down by 5 now, Dave. What can they do to come back in this?
They've got to find a spark, some energy, something that gets you fired up.
Ben John's there to finish off what he started. 7-1.
And if you're looking for a last-minute Father's Day gift, check out Pastor myself. People are no longer work, but I'm sure we might give you a code.
So much power on that overhead.
The player to serve.
And if you use my affiliate link, I do make money off of it. Not much, right? It's a little bit, a couple cents here and there. It adds up.
Great work at the kitchen. Left no doubt in that volley.
Being an affiliate. Tactical self-special makes other women horny.
How about the cross-court winner?
Incredible deception, great ball placement, got the job done right there. Oh, gets the line.
Amazing shot.
It was.
The comeback is on, Dave.
It's getting tight, and this is the point where pressure can start affecting.
7-5.
Great job with the cross-court attack.
No, don't trade Frank again.
Great passing shot that time. What a shot.
We are tied now.
Every day I wake up and I try to honor that promise that I made to this city and the people who live here. That's who I am.
Drop volley, and it's textbook. Close game here, all tied up. Ben Johns takes over the serve.
That's pretty much it. Basic barrel logic. Okay, this ball's broken, so
The overhead, well executed there. We are all tied up.
The player to serve.
That's just a gorgeous volley. We are all tied up.
Ben Johns will serve. How good was that, Dave?
So good, Michelle. A clean winner on a beautiful passing shot. We are just too short on that return. The players at this level are just too good. They'll take advantage every time.
6 years about sex, so they want to got a girlfriend after that 6 years, right?
Wow, you just can't defend that.
It's difficult to hit the ball that hard and keep that ball in play. Nicely done.
10-7, and that will do it.
What a victory. They were trailing big and came all the way back to win it.
We'll take a short break, and then we have game 3 coming up next.
Beautiful passing shot.
The player takes over the serve.
A phenomenal shot that time that landed in the corner of the court. Now there's a beauty. Great forehand.
2-0. There's such fluidity to Ben Johns' game. You saw it right there. Ben Johns back to serve.
I talked to one of my buddies one time, and he literally looked at me and he was like, "Fucker," and I was like, "Yeah, man, I did."
Smash that one.
That was hit with bad intentions. My goodness.
The player takes over the serve.
He started crying, dude. I felt so bad.
Oh, gets the line.
Amazing shot.
It sure was.
Ben Johns will serve.
Sweetheart, wax toasted bread. Always one of infused mayo on both slices. Bottom slice gets 2 packets of prosciutto, some freshly cooked thick cut bacon, some mozzarella cheese, some red onions. The top bun gets freshly ground black pepper, salt, garlic salt, and onion powder.
Ben Johns is on another level.
Just ridiculous filth on that one.
2-1.
Sounds like gender relations. I just established myself as a content creator.
Smacks that one.
That was hit with bad intentions. My goodness.
The player, what a great shot.
Yeah, wicked two-handed backhand right at the baseline. There's a ferocious finish.
A beauty that time.
Fantastic control of that two-handed backhand, threading the needle.
5-1. That one's not coming back.
Absolute not. The pros play great defense, but no chance on that one.
It's been a pretty lopsided game so far, Dave.
Yeah.
That one's not coming back.
Absolutely not. The pros play great defense, but no chance on that one.
That volley was so crisp. 7-1. Ben Johns here with a side out.
What a drop volley, just beautiful.
7-2.
You probably don't know who the fuck you are. They don't want to buy cameos, so I appreciate that.
Clean winner that time on the passing shot.
7-2. Side out here for the player.
Even though you see on a big major fight the other day. And you're like, babe, when you're in the mood.
Absolute filth on the cross-court shot.
I got this recipe by King Purple JFS.
There's a good-looking attack. Cross-court finish. 9-2.
Great job there, getting the ball into a location where nothing could be done. And we are 1 point away.
And that's it.
That one wasn't even close. An impressive victory for sure.
That's a wrap from our tremendous crew bringing you this event. So long, and we'll see you next time.
House doesn't stink of tobacco, so there's that. So you want to date the bad boy? You want to date the bad boy? He's not a bad boy. He just treats you badly. There's a difference. Excuse me. No idea how long this video is going to be, but I'm drinking, I'm celebrating Father's Day, and doing a gender rant, so let's go. Because it takes balls to admit when you're wrong. And that goes for both genders. That's why I'll say it again. Good communication is more important than good sex. Bless you. Excuse me. What's the word?
This is Wix Studio, built to meet any version. With 3 calls for complex structure, let AI map your site architecture and wireframes. Then, dive into your favorite part, the design. Wix Studio, built for the way you create.
Get half price shakes every day after 5 for a limited time. Live free, eat Sonic.
Soft confirmations. Compromise. There we go. You know, all you can do is find what's the, you know the word, like, fucking, yeah. Confirmation. Is that the word? Compromise. When you can compromise and like see the best of both worlds, and use that to find a perfect solution that suits both of you. I'm chilling out with no shirts and some like awesome marijuana themed pajama pants. So the following video response is brought to you in part by alcohol and cigarettes because I'm fucking done with society's bullshit. Do your thing, they, them. I got you. You got a straight ally on your side. You have a straight, heterosexual, biologically gendered ally. I prefer the term biologically gendered because I feel like the term cisgendered or sissy is a derogatory insult towards people who are cisgendered. Like, oh god, it's one of those fucking videos. I'm tuning out. And okay, well, I'll give you a second to tune out. Okay, now that the squares are gone, outside of my family, my friends, and my fan base, nobody gives a shit. I get so much crap for being King Cobra JFS. You know, everybody wants to make fun of me for practicing magic, calling me the trailer trash Harry Potter, etc. And it's just like, you know what? I don't judge you, so why the fuck you judging me? I'm not gonna try anything but Sydney Watson's hot. I just addressed it. Elephant in the room. Fuck off. Chef's kiss. You want to promote Father's Day? Father's Day is awesome. If you want to get your dad a sweet gift for Father's Day, tactical soap. The description is in the box below. Like, you check out all my description box links. You can see a place to support me financially, and the tactical soap. But my bad habits keep me mentally sane, so if I don't fucking have a cigarette or a little bit of booze, every now and then I go a little fucking loopy. Smells freaking good. Tactical soap. Check out the description box below for all your needs. I'm a proud affiliate for this product because it works. I've seen women 10 times out of my league react positively to the smell that I'm laying off, I don't gotta get laid to appreciate what tactical soap's laying down. Their chemical-free, cold-pressed soap made for men is awesome. My coupon code no longer works. My YouTube trolls couldn't handle the fact that Cobra's making money doing what he loves doing, so we're gonna harass stock car and blah 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 blah, and then not enough people were using the coupon code King Cobra on top of it, so it is what it is. Regardless, I still rock the soap, and I'm a proud affiliate of Tactical Soap because it works. Straight without the sorry, the alcohol burns. Everybody wants love and acceptance and equality, and that's what makes us human, to a point.
Peter Piper used the smart buying tools from Amazon Business and positively prospered.
There we go. The drink combo got me a little schnocker at the moment, but we'll press on. Like, as long as you're not a goddamn sicko, who gives a fuck what you're sticking your private parts into? You know?
What? Oh god. Where? Oh. We're good. Oh shit. Put that down for a minute. Oh shit.
Yes. Excuse me. Like, I've been known to put on black lipstick and eyeliner because it accentuates my goth look. It has nothing to do with my sexuality or, like, you know, who I am as a person, so to speak, because I idolize bands like Cradle of Filth, Ozzy Osbourne, and Black Sabbath, etc., or Alice Cooper, you know. When I was a kid and I started the whole Cobra Demon thing, I was told it's just in your head, and like, you know, you're full of shit basically. Because when I was a kid, you know, I'd watch Sailor Moon, I'd watch Tenchi Muyo, I'd watch Freakazoid. I had a crush on Little Washu, Cobra Queen, and Sailor Pluto kind of thing. I went through that phase myself. And then when puberty hit, I started discovering the opposite gender. And I migrated it as gracefully as I could. And it wasn't the prettiest migration, mind you, but what do you do?
Cheez-It made a chip, baked with 100% real cheese. Cheez-It snapped.
And when I say Sailor Pluto, I mean the adult version. Sailor Pluto as the adult version. I'm like, sign me up. Watching Batman in the early 90s to early 2000s. And you see Poison Ivy as a full-figured female. And I'm like, yes. But that's neither here nor there. Also, the fucking Irma Thurman as Poison Ivy is just like, oh, that's hot. Because as I've stated on my channel multiple times, kids are more precious than rock and roll. Sick and tired of everyone blaming Trump for everything. You're just mad because your candidate didn't make the presidential list. And like, okay, so we're gonna blame Trump for everything because we're mad at the world. You're stupid. One second. Yeah. Cheers. Here's the video response for that. Fox said those fuck. Alright.
If you want to get ad-free access to our rawest, unedited, and
Listen, the virus will not know you're embarrassed, and I'm sorry, but I have to have your thing.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are mostly divided along party lines over whether the U.S. strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear.
The title is a talk.
Where do you place? Look, I'm going to place you.
God sometimes tells him to kill people.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think he's trying to put himself too far out there because he wants to impress everyone, right? But I think he should be like contained, labeled, and put on a good display. He just needs to.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to our Steam.
Hey there, welcome to the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff. Me, Ryan McGuffey, back in the Recap studios here on a nice